Right, is it that button on the bottom I press or not?
Yeah, we told you about 5 minutes ago to get ready to press the button.
What?
Yeah, I'm a bit confused. My brain's hurting.
Just press it again just to make sure.
So I'll press it once, but I don't press it again.
Not yet. Maybe I
Not
don't
yet.
know. Did you press it the first time?
Well, it says stop broadcast, so do I press that now?
Does that mean it stopped, or you press it to stop?
What are you talking about? I made myself go dizzy. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Apparently, I'm in charge of the buttons this week.
Oh,
so
how did we do that? How did that?
It's not my fault.
I'm in charge. So behave.
If one of us goes off air, he's probably banned us.
Yeah, that means it
blocked everybody.
Yeah. Just as an aside, there was an explosion in another street in town last night, and it cut all electricity off. So, if we just suddenly disappear.
And where were you at the time?
I was with.
Was it on a submarine?
Yeah.
Or was it even on a boat, perhaps?
Yeah, I was here. Honest, I was here. Right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It's a Monday night. Yes, it's Monday. It's nearly the end of October.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. And it's the eModels live streams. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading the script. Yeah.
I didn't get the script again. You forgot to send it to me.
You don't need a script, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just here to look pretty.
Yeah.
Our script is just turn on the telly, look pretty, go home.
Okay. Yeah. I'm already home, so I've sorted that one already.
Even press the t-shirt. Yeah.
I know. Ted's there washing, and I've not even washed this since I got it. I only wear it for 2 hours a week. Yeah. I've not got stinky yet, but it might have got a bit. Maybe.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Monday night's live stream from eModels, eModels.co.uk. And it's me, Ted, who's in charge. As I said, who's in charge. Yeah, I've been shown what buttons to press. I'm in charge tonight, along with these two reprobates down here somewhere, wherever they be. Yeah, there's Foxx. Good evening, Foxx. How are you?
Hi. Hello. I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Tedward?
Yes, surviving. I've been asleep all day, so yeah, I've been hibernating today. So hopefully, I can last the length of the live stream.
Did you go into hedgehog mode and curl up in a little tiny ball?
Turn up
for like a day.
I mean, he's got spikes on his back. No, I don't want to know. No.
And Chris,
I only say that because I had to go out and buy hodgepodge food today for our hodgepodge in the garden. So,
and Chris, good evening to you. How are you?
Good evening. I'm also okay. Yeah.
And I didn't hear any of that because I just pulled my earphone out.
That's right. Everybody else heard it.
It was all insults.
It was lovely.
Good. Yeah. Welcome. It's the usual Monday night of mayhem, mirth, and all other things going wrong. So it's up to you guys what you want us to talk about. It's your live stream. Remember, we're just here to facilitate the chat as usual. Talk about anything from models to 80s TV. And if anybody's been watching any programs on the telly, tell us about them. The Great Model Railway Adventure, Ashes to Ashes, anything like that. Yeah, we're here for your chat. So send in your questions as well to Ted at eModels, Ted at eModels, eModels.co.uk, and that also goes for shout outs and things like that.
Yeah, so I'll do my blur, get my blurb out the way. As always, like Ted says, we depend on your chat, so do join in the live chat. If you're watching this and you can't see the live chat anywhere, don't panic. Just click on the little YouTube icon down here in the bottom right-hand corner, and that will magically transport you to the YouTube channel where the stream is, and you'll see the live chat and you can join in. If you're on a device that doesn't have live chat, if you're watching on, say, an iPad or a mobile phone or something like that, or you might be watching on the Xbox, because the power of the Xbox has been harnessed for YouTube and bejeweled. That's how Mum works. Then you can just send us an email, ted@emodels.co.uk, if you've got any questions. But if you are in the chat and you want us to make sure that we see your question or your comment, put it in big fat capital letters, the whole thing, so we can't possibly miss it, even though we will. But if you want to, there is a super chat option. You can press the dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat, and that will put your comment in a big coloured box. And even Chris wouldn't miss that.
I might. No, I probably won't, but I might.
But Chris and I will do our best to be chat dollies tonight. Ted, bless him, will do his best in the chat, but you know what Ted's like at the moment. He's a bit sleepy.
Ted already started trying to read last week's chat. So
yeah, he actually had he's like, why is the chat not moving? He's like, that's last week's chat.
So if you've got any questions for Ted next week, put them in chat today.
I'll pick them up. Yeah, I tried to type in the chat, then it says this chat is closed. I thought, what's going on with it?
So we think perhaps Ted is still hibernating from earlier today. So we'll keep an eye on.
Brings us to a question that Kenneth asked. He says, "Why does Ted have bedhead?" It's because he's only just got up. I've sort of slept for the last 2 days. Came home from work last night and fell promptly asleep, and I didn't wake up till about 5, 6 o'clock today. So yeah, Both me and Foxx were standing by the side of his bed, shaking, saying, "Ted, wake up, Ted! See eModels night.
Wake up! I'm not in your will yet. Come on, wake up." It does amuse me. It does amuse me that given your recent medical history, Mrs. Teddy's like, he's just asleep.
Yeah, it's also an indication of when I need a haircut because I just can't do anything with it.
It's just
I've had a haircut this week. That'd be news for everybody.
But on that note, hello, Kenneth. Welcome. We don't often see Kenneth in the chat on the show because it's 3 a.m. or something in Australia.
It's stupid. It's nice Australian time. Yeah, it's middle of the night.
It's nice to see Kenneth in the chat. Do you want to go through who's in, Chris? Or
I can do. I was just thinking that Ted's got the whole introduction thing. You've got the whole click on the YouTube button thing. I need a thing.
Yeah, you can have who's in.
Can I have the who's in?
We can wave. We can wave as well to anybody that's not in chat, but's too shy to come in chat. So we can give them.
I found a new button in this chat thing.
You could do the thing about shout-outs and stuff.
Can I do the shout-outs?
And no, you can do the thing about shout-outs and send
your emails and shout-outs to Ted at eModels, emodels.co.uk. I found a new button in the chat thing that just lists participants. So I think that's just everybody that's mentioned everything in alphabetical order.
Wait,
so I'm going to read through that.
There's a button in chat?
There's a button in the chat. If you click the little buttons in the top right of the chat, next to where it says live chat.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bit that says
participants. Out easily.
So I'm going to go through that and I'm going to read them out in alphabetical order. So alphabetical. So in chat tonight, in no particular order of typing, but in the order that it's given me here, we have Addy Math, Andy McLeish, Chris Belchin, Earl D, eModels UK, Festa 67's Workshop, being a mod, thank you, Colin, James Chapman, Jamie Bone, Kenneth M, Michael Jackerman, Mike Mountain, also being a mod, thank you, Dad. Mr. Loth's Model Making, not Mr. Moth's Model Making, that would be completely different.
Mr. Moth.
Osric 9000, Pete Rogers, Ray Aquilina, Robert Joseph, Rusting Customs Models, Scale Model Muse, Scale Model Vamp, Toby Page, and Zadster. Noticing not me, and I've definitely been there, so I'm not sure about that.
Next week when you do that, can you kind of work it into the sort of tempo of a Gilbert and Sullivan?
Eddie Meth and Danny Inclusion, Chris Bishop and LD. No, I can't. So that's everybody apparently that's in chat, but I don't know that it really is because there's a couple of names there that I've seen in the chat that weren't there.
Well, it's funny enough, when I looked at it, it didn't show me. So I don't think it shows you.
It doesn't show me because it knows you're already there.
You're you.
But I know Sergeant Bones is there, and he's not listed.
George Gabriel's there, and he wasn't listed.
Exactly. So
he's in. Andy McLeish
and Thurman Nuclear Bobbington and Red Litany. I won't do that.
I think you have to keep refreshing it because I've just looked and it shows Andy McLeish there. Chris
is obviously broken. So hello to everybody that I haven't mentioned. You are there. You're not a figment of your own imagination.
Yes. Zadster says, "I am the model of a modern Major General" by Tamir.
Yes. Very nice box art. Yeah.
Chris Balchin says, "Hi everyone, hope you're all well. Another satisfying Monday evening of drivel and gems, the ratio of which you can decide for yourselves." Mostly drivel.
Did you say drivel or dribble?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Either will do.
Just so
it's relevant.
Mickle Pickle says, "I don't know if I'm here or not."
The door is ajar.
Yeah. Come in, make yourself comfortable, pull up a chair and have a drink and that was what was on TV last night as well. Britain's best biscuit.
I thought you were going to say World Drinking Championship or something.
World Drinking Championship.
I didn't watch it. Which is the Britain's best biscuit?
Could we have any special? It'll be a spoiler for somebody that might have taped it.
This is true. Yeah. Okay.
Tell you what. Why don't we ask chat what their favourite biscuit is?
What's your favourite biscuit? And Ted will let us know if I have the favourite in the world.
Yeah. If you're not in the UK, obviously, for example, if you're in Australia, Kenneth, you can just put Tim Tams because we'll allow that because they are.
However, some of them last night I wouldn't class as biscuits because they were more like
Don't start the Jaffa Cake thing.
A Jaffa Cake. Yeah.
No, they had wagon wheels on. No, I wouldn't class them as a biscuit.
No, wagon wheels are definitely a biscuit. What are they then if they're not a biscuit?
Well, no, because if a wagon wheel is a biscuit, that makes things like the Tunnocks tea cakes biscuits, even though they're just fluffy things with a biscuit base.
Well, what about Twix?
No, Twix is on as well.
Because it's got a biscuit base.
Uh,
because a biscuit doesn't have to have two bits of biscuit stuff in the middle.
No, it can just be a biscuit. So it is a biscuit. It just happens to have other stuff on top of it.
Because it's only like a long, thin biscuit, isn't it? So I would accept Twix. I don't think I'd accept wagon wheels because that's more of a.
Well, I would have voted for Garibaldi's, but I don't think it even came in the top 20.
No,
I would expect it's the boring rich teas and digestives that are up there.
See, here's a reference that no one will get. It'll just be you and Tank Girl, Ted. Yeah. Anyone for a Garibaldi?
We have lots of people shouting out biscuit types. We have custard creams. Binch, George says. I don't know what binch is. That's an American thing, obviously.
That's an American thing. Binch. You need to explain binch. It
doesn't sound very nice, but
it sounds like something you call a questionable woman down south, perhaps.
If it's an American thing, I hope it's just a biscuit and it hasn't got chocolate on it, because American chocolate's not.
Oh, American chocolate's terrible.
Oh.
We have bourbon. Yeah, bourbon's a good biscuit. Yeah. Pink Wafers, ginger nuts. Fox's Golden Crunch. What about your Golden Crunch?
They're my Golden Crunch.
Yeah, obnobs.
Choc chip, pink wafer.
Why do people go ape for pink wafers? Because they don't actually taste. They taste like cardboard.
Yeah, they don't.
They're fun and they're pink, but they don't taste of anything.
I'm not sure about dark chocolate digestives.
They're like normal digestive.
Like normal chocolate, but with dark chocolate on it.
No, but it's a darker digestive biscuit as well.
Oh, okay,
they're all right.
Oreos.
Chris Balchin says Garibaldi, spelt Gary. Baldy.
Paul Gary, yeah.
Paul Gary.
Oreos. People go bananas for Oreos, and they're horrible.
Fig rolls, nice.
Yeah. I think Oreos were an American import anyway, weren't they?
Oreos, there they are, but they're horrible.
LD says my homemade shortbread second.
Ooh. George Gabriel says Binch is a Korean chocolate biscuit.
Okay.
Then it'll probably be fine then.
If anybody wants to send us any of these biscuits to sample, by the way, we'll quite willingly sample them. I'll let you know the verdict on next week's live stream.
Email your biscuits to Ted. That's eModels.
Spruglu says, is a cheesecake a biscuit? No.
Oh, well, it's made with digestives on the bottom, isn't it?
Well, no, but it's made with biscuits rather than...
It contains biscuit, but that doesn't make it a biscuit, does it?
If you made an actual biscuit that big and put the cheesecake stuff on top, that would technically then maybe be a biscuit, because it's not biscuit crushed up into. It's actually a biscuit.
Andy McLeish says it's a cake, Sprue. You spoon.
Yeah, but now I really want cheesecake.
Luke Loza says I don't think C talking about the same biscuit. He prefers biscuits with sausage gravy on the top.
Oh, that's an American thing. With the biscuits are like the waffly things that you put on with your gravy.
You mean like Yorkshire pud?
No, a bit like they're a bit like I always imagine them being a bit like Navy tack.
I'm not like bird's eye potato waffles.
Yeah, but not made of potato. But that kind of thing. They're like biscuits and gravy with
like waffles. Yeah, waffles.
It's from the American explain biscuits, because we don't really know what they are.
Well, we know what biscuits are, but they don't know what biscuits are.
No.
Yeah, like apparently they have ginger snaps where we have ginger nuts.
Yeah. Scale Model Muse says biscuits and gravy more like bread. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Zedster says sponsored by eModels and Fox's Biscuits.
Biscuits. I don't know how we got there so quickly onto the biscuit talk.
Yeah, biscuits. It always ends up with food.
Scale Model Muse says, damn it, now I'm hungry.
Yep, this is correct.
Yep, send out for a pizza.
Cat says, are they more like what we call cornbread? I think that's just cornbread.
Zadster has the definitive definition of biscuits. Biscuits go soggy as they get older. Cakes go harder as they get older.
Yeah.
But right.
The problem with that is I've eaten them.
Yeah, the biscuits never get...
You can't tell if they're going to go soft or hard because I've already eaten them.
Jamie Bone brings up the Christmas quality and says brandy snaps.
Oh, no, I can't stand brandy snaps.
Yeah, I like brandy snaps.
No, I just don't like the texture of brandy snaps.
Vincent at Mr. Lewis Model Making says, Ted, consider it done. Next month, you all three will get a big variety box of French and Belgian biscuits. Afternoon at Nan's, that good times, good biscuits and cookies.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just no ants, please, Vincent.
He's just going to bring a bag of ants and say, I did bring ants and cookies, and guess what?
Yeah, Vincent started a small ant thingy. I can't remember the word. What's the word, Vincent? Not terrarium. What's the word?
Ant farm.
Thingy.
Yeah.
Formicarium, that's it.
Who?
Formicarium. It's like an artificial ant home.
Isn't he the hypnotist?
What?
What? Paul McKenna?
Ah, you're doing a funny word.
McKennian. Yeah, he's the hypnotist, isn't he? Andy McLeish angrily shouts, a Jaffa cake is not a biscuit.
No, it's not. No,
we're not going to do that. That's a real internet.
It's in the biscuit aisle. With the biscuits in the shop, you don't put them with the cake.
Yeah, it's like most things. It's like one or two things in supermarkets. So, isn't it? It's what aisle should we put this in? Yeah, we've put the biscuits. Yeah, should go into cakes.
And does it really matter? Because we're going to move it next week to annoy you.
Yeah, that's it. Once you know where it is.
I would study a Jaffa cake, packet of Jaffa cakes to ascertain whether they are biscuits or cakes, but they don't last that long. Not when I'm around, anyway.
The world record for eating Jaffa cakes is a really surprisingly low number.
I've eaten like a whole packet in probably less than a minute.
They did a huge packet, like a yard of Jaffa cakes or something for Christmas sometime, and it's like that's more than anyone can possibly eat in one sitting. It's like I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've done a packet in less than a minute.
Yeah, that's a normal packet. It's not.
That brings up the point that Lidl do some nice German biscuits, etc., for the run up to Christmas. Yeah, but this is the time of year when Stollen starts.
I was just about to say Stollen. Oh.
All the treats come out for Christmas. You think, oh, I'll get that and I'll put it in the cupboard for Christmas. Never lasts till Christmas.
Stollen. You get like the little packs of little Stollen balls. They last about.
Yeah, we'll put them in the cupboard for Christmas, but it just comes a Saturday night when it's raining outside and the telly's on, a pint of beer, and there's some biscuits in the cupboard. Just get them out.
But a word of warning, if you want to eat a lot of Stollen, for the love of dog, make sure you drink lots of fluids, because otherwise there'll be untoward consequences.
Stephen Hill Harris is in. He said, grits are coarsely ground corn boiled with milk and water. Never had it, but it looks a bit like semolina.
I've had grits. It's quite nice. My brother came back. My brother lives in the States, and he came over one year, and he brought with him a box of Aunt Jemima's pancake mix for proper thick American pancakes, and a box of Aunt Jemima's hominy grits.
Is it grits are nice or grits is nice?
Grits is nice. It's probably not grammatically grits is nice, but if you're American, it's probably, boy, your grits is nice. I like your grits, boy. I'm going to eat that with my face.
Spids in. He says, hey, hey, hey.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is that?
Right. He's coming at the right time, and he says they are cakes.
Andy McLeish said it went to court, and it proved it was a cake.
Yep.
So there. We can't argue with British justice there.
Phil Kett says 17 in 1 minute is the record for Jaffa cakes.
It
doesn't sound very high. It sounds really low. How many in a packet? It's got to be 10 or 12, isn't it?
Is that going to be an eModels Christmas challenge, perhaps?
How many Jaffa cakes can you eat? The first minute of the show would be quite interesting, but the second and third minutes might not be quite so interesting.
We'll do it in the last minute before it turns off. Right. Let's. You were going to do a thing. Were you going to do the shout outs, or we have a shout out that came in actually?
Was there? Did we get a shout out? I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Who wants to do a shout out?
Let me see if I can find it before I agree to doing it.
Yes, because Chris now has access to the eModels email. The Ted eModels email.
I was going to say it's been read, but it wasn't read by me. It was read by somebody else.
Yeah, I just opened it. I said,
the downside of all three of us having access to the inbox.
We've got. Should we do it now? Or should we save it for a bit later on? We might get another one.
Yeah, we'll save it till later on.
Yeah. But don't forget though, folks.
We'll save it.
Yeah.
If you have a birthday or an event, or you just want to shout out to your loved ones, or your husband or wife, or your girlfriend or boyfriend, or your mum and dad, or your gran or nan, any kind of shout out. If you're a coach party from Wigan, anything like that, or you've got any model making events or anything going on, drop us an email to ted@emodels.co.uk. and we'll do a shout out for you live on the telly. Especially if you're in trouble with your other half, we'll try and smooth it over for you.
Definitely bonus points if we mention it. Yeah.
We can absolve your sins and ask for forgiveness and things like that. So.
Yeah.
We do actually have a question sent in the email. Not for question for stickers, just a question for saving rating in chat from Zadster.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I'm making a Revel VW Golf GTI. He says it ties in with a giveaway from last week.
Oh, cool.
Just starting work on the interior. In the rear car, the sides of the seats and some other parts of the cabin are vinyl with a sort of crackle effect. Any ideas how he could get that effect on his model? So he wants a sort of crackle leather seat effect.
Like old knackered vinyl that's kind of...
It's going to be the old car, so it's going to be old and, you know...
I'm just wondering what sort of scale it's in, actually, because is it a 124th or 135th?
He
doesn't say in there, but I'm assuming it's the same as the one we're giving away. So I think that was 24th.
I mean, you could try... I mean, the simple solution is to use a crackle paint. Now, the only crackle paint I know, but there are others available. The only one I know personally is a Grell and Earth from Citadel, but obviously eModels don't stock that. There are other ones available, but I can't remember how you can make your own. But a crackle paint will do that, but you can't control the scale of how big the crackles are.
No, I think it'd be quite difficult to do that, really. And would it be worth the effort of doing it?
If it's 1/24th, you probably wouldn't. It'd probably look out of scale anyway. It's almost not worth trying to reproduce it because it would be so small.
Could you mix up a paint with basically some fine grained sand in it?
No,
that's the same.
That gives it a rough texture. You could try. I suppose you could try painting some, but it'd be very tedious, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be painting really small because at the end of I don't know. I mean, it depends if it's actually the texture of the vinyl. It's designed to look like fake leather, in which case you wouldn't really see that, or it's supposed to be really old knackered vinyl, in which case that's really going to be right round the fronts of the seats and the edges of the seats.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, but around where all the seam lines are sewing and things and such as like, you could sort of put sort of stress marks and things in there.
Yeah. But I mean, if that's the case with vinyl, you're more likely to have bits of vinyl chipping off, in which case you could just manually paint little pale chips almost to be like the foam underneath or the material underneath the vinyl. But
Zadster does say in chat, I thought about stippling on some thick paint.
It depends on the scale.
Yeah.
Because if it's like 1/24th, debatable whether you'd even see it once the model's built, the windscreens and glasses in, but whether you'd actually see it at that scale. I mean, you could.
Yeah, I'd go with a trip to the scrapyard or something like that. But these days, a lot of car seats are sort of cloth or leather, aren't they? So, and I bet that you wouldn't even see it on the real thing unless you looked really close to it. So.
I mean, I have sat in Mark 1 Golfs and with old vinyl seats, and they don't get that knackered. I mean, they can do, but it tends to be around edges where there's wear and tear. Climate Festa 67 Workshop, one of our mods, says scribe the cracks and use a pin wash.
Could be. Yeah, you could do
Scar Model Muse says it's time to drag myself to work, but I'll listen on the way. So bye and hello, Muse.
Yep, thanks for coming in. Enjoy.
And thanks for joining us in a minute when you get in the car.
You know, one thing I do remember about cars with vinyl seats and that, they used to have the piping, didn't they, with a string inside, and the piping used to come off, exposing the string. That would be about it, just around the edges.
We had to repair the vinyl seats in a 1977 Pontiac Firebird once. It was white vinyl to simulate white leather interior. It was gorgeous, and it just had a few little cracked bits and stuff. So we had to kind of fill it and recolor it and make it all blend. We did it at the end. By the end of it, you wouldn't have known there was a big hole in the vinyl because we filled it and recolored it completely. That was fun.
Rustin Customs Model says Vallejo Crackle Medium.
There you go. But again, the only thing I say about crackle mediums is you can't control the size of the crackle too specifically. I know if you put it on thin, you get smaller crackles. Put it on thick, you get bigger ones. But you might end up with crackles that in reality would be this big if they come out in the wrong scale. So I'd do some tests first to see how thick you need to put it on.
There's obviously a gap in the market there. Then there should be crackle mediums for various scales and different amounts of crackles.
Because, I mean, you could put it on there and find the crackles come out bigger than a person's head, which would look a bit weird. Because really, on vinyl seats, you're looking at things this big. So make that 24 times smaller. That's kind of the
Spider Q8 says, paint them godly and say they're tasteless Halford's 80 seat covers.
Yeah. Get a load of like tissue paper and drape it over, white glue it so it conforms, and then paint zebra stripes on it. So it's like one of those old crappy seat covers.
Or those jersey type seat covers that never seem to fit. They always used to ride up.
Yeah. Or just make a load of scale scatter cushions, because there was always somebody that had a load of. I used to know people that had scatter cushions in the back of the car. I never figured that out.
Oh yeah, there was always cushions in the back of the car. Or
it's people, like normal household like you have on your sofa, but scatter cushions on the back seats.
Or people that tried to pretend they were from the emergency services and put a day glow jacket in the back of the windowsill.
But I never understood this thing of putting normal like sofa like scatter cushions. It's like, all you're going to do is, when you've got two people in the back of your car, they're going to have to throw them around the car somewhere. They're going to go in the boot or on the back window.
That's exactly the same with having them on your sofa, isn't it? They're not for sitting on cushions.
Yeah, they're not. It's like, really?
Scatter cushions and a box of tissues.
Yeah,
on the back on the parcel shelf.
Luke does say paint over PVA glue can create a crackle effect, but test it on a scrap piece of styrene first.
Oh, tell you what I did do once. That crackled. It might not be to the right scale though. Was I gloss varnished something using Pledge Floor Care Finish 2 times more shine, and I sprayed some Tamiya clear orange over it, and it crackled. Huh. So that's an idea.
Yeah, try mixing a couple of different paints that dry at different speeds, because that's basically what does it, isn't it?
Yes. We had a question come through from Jamie Bone, who says, question, what is the best way to glue chrome parts to plastic? And I can answer this really quickly. They're just plastic with chrome plating on. Strip the plating off. And then, I mean, basically just scrape some of the plating off where you want to glue it, and then just glue it as normal, because it's just normal plastic under there. However, you might find it looks a lot better if you strip the chrome off using oven cleaner, or does Dettol take the chrome plating off? I can't remember.
I think it does, doesn't it? The brown one.
Yeah, it should do.
I think that brown Dettol should take. It takes paint off. It might take the plating off, and just repaint them. But it depends what it is you're making. In a lot of cases, chrome parts look much better if you just repaint them, but it depends.
Zanster says, I'm noting down cushions and paper tissue box would make good set dressing.
Yes. But yes, if you're not replating them, Jamie, just scrape the chrome off where you want to glue them, and that's your contact point, because it's just normal plastic under. They're just chrome plated, and they're usually not very good.
Right. What else? Any more questions?
Ray says, yes, what was the tissues on the parcel shelf all about?
How could you reach them from the front, he says. Well, you get someone in the back to pass them to you. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. It was so that when you had an emergency stop, they shot forward and hit you on the back of the head.
Yeah, there was a Mythbusters thing about that. If it was dangerous enough to kill you. If you're going fast enough, would a flying tissue box actually hurt? And
that was the days though when you didn't have headrests on the front seats. Yeah, you could buy them from Halfords that slot over. You could buy them and put them on.
Optional extras for your car.
I have to say though, in reality, I've never known another human being actually use tissues, like in a box of tissues. Never seen another human being use them.
No? My family used tissues in boxes.
It's like I've never seen another human being use a handkerchief ever. They're accepted as a normal. I've never seen.
You never go out, do you? You only stay in your house.
Yeah, you need to get out more. Yeah.
James Chapman has a question for Ted.
Go on.
It says he was watching Fox's stream yesterday. If you won £1 million, what would you spend it on? There was some discussion of this yesterday.
Oh yeah, we had a discussion about what plans if you won the lottery. So imagine you win £1 million on the lottery. What would your plan be?
Me and Fox already answered it, so we're just
we spoke about this today. But
Well, I wouldn't be here next Monday.
Yeah, you're not. That's not very nice. Oh, but.
Unless somewhere in Mauritius I can find an island with a Wi-Fi connection, then holidays, enjoying myself, and spending it on me, and the wife. Yeah, so yeah, I couldn't think of anything that I would buy initially.
Would you move house again?
Yeah, last time I moved house, I had a stroke, so no.
He's there he is now. He's making that house bigger.
Yeah.
You said Ted will buy a gin factory.
Yeah, I could just buy the rest of the houses down the street and just knock through.
Zadster says £1 million would nearly buy a full set of Games Workshop paints.
Stretching it.
Earl D said put a sub in the boot.
Yeah.
Or he's on about cars again, or my submarine in the boot. Yeah, no, I couldn't think of anything I'd spend it on initially. I'd buy a new car, a new car rather than a second-hand car.
Yeah, because I don't know, a 3-year-old Mini.
Yeah,
it's going to break down any minute.
Yeah, or somebody's going to run into it.
Oh yeah, is that getting sorted out?
Yeah, that's where it is at the moment. Actually, it went in today to get sorted out. So
when the doctor said you can't drive for a month, it's because of stupidity, not because of medical condition.
Yeah, I couldn't drive for a month, and when I could drive, somebody else ran into me.
Yeah. Vincent at Mr. Love's Model Making, because I said about never seeing another human being use tissues, says, clearly, Foxx, you do not work in an office job. I do, or I did. I used to. But wherever I used to work was mostly chavs. So they just spit. They didn't
use sleeves.
It wasn't pleasant. It was a generation of people that wouldn't know what a tissue was.
Mm-hmm. Michael Jackman says, it's always house, car, holiday.
Yeah.
That's the trilogy of winning £1 million.
Mind you, £1 million, would that be enough these days? Because everybody has £1 million these days. Well, apart from me, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends where in the country you want to buy a house as well. I mean, you could do £1 million on a house very easily in London.
Stephen L. Harris points out that the whole reason this conversation came up yesterday and today is that the Powerball lottery in the USA is currently at $1.2 billion.
That'd cover you for a house.
Oh, wow.
Which I think some people worked out after all the usual applicable state and federal taxes is about $400 million.
Yeah, well, if anybody wants to send me a Powerball ticket over with the biscuits.
Andy McLeish says, no, 1 million would not suffice. You need 10 million. Sergeant Bones says, admit I'd buy a Gundam, the big one in Japan.
The big size real life one.
Buy all the Gundams and buy somebody to build it for you.
I'm going to say $1 million wouldn't be enough to be become like Iron Man or something, is it? You'd have to have more than that to develop your own Gundam suit to actually work.
Judge Gabriel points out it's Mega Millions, not the Powerball. Brian Windmill says he would buy a motorbike and travel.
I'd buy a motor. I think that's what I could do. I'd buy a motorhome and travel. And then each continent you go to, you wouldn't have to bother with importing it and put it on a ferry. Just get off, get on the ferry, or fly over, buy another one, drive to the next continent, leave it, buy another one. Okay.
Well, you'd have someone to do the buying for you and have it ready for you at the airport.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, might as well have somebody to drive it as well.
Now, Scale Model Muse, who lives in the States and is clearly my best friend in the whole world, says, guess who's in the betting pool and who grabbed her own numbers? My mate, Scale Model Muse, who always looks after her friends.
I thought she was going, but she's stuck around. The talk of millions has obviously attracted her and made her stay.
Yeah, don't worry though. If I won the million, if I won the lottery, I'd remember you all. I just remember you all.
Just remember.
I'm giving you money. I'd say, I remember them guys. I used to hang around.
Says, I'd get that massive Gunpla he posted earlier, and motors to move it, and a kitten to pilot it.
Yeah.
I don't know that you could trust a kitten to pilot a Gunpla.
Well, it could pilot it. It just wouldn't be your friend.
I think it would pilot it over to the nearest shelf and then just push things off of it. What would you guys? They're already telling us, but what would you guys do with £1 million? Thermonuclear Bobbington says a lighthouse near Lerwick and play music as loud as I like.
George Gabriel says he was just replying to Stephen L. Harris saying he didn't want someone to mistakenly get a Powerball ticket and only end up with $620 million.
That would be a down.
I'm pretty sure that the responsibility wouldn't be yours.
I want 620 million. I bought the wrong ticket.
After applicable state and local federal taxes, I only got 200.
Tear it up. Spid says, but it'd be so cute while doing it.
Scale Model Muse says, careful, Fox, you're almost already neighbours. You live near Manchester? Wow.
Is England's not moving closer to America week by week and day by day?
Anyone's moving close to America right at the moment, but let's move away from that. Moving on rather swiftly.
Andy McLeish says, if it was a big win, I'd quit working and hobby and join eModels team. No amount of money is worth eModels team.
You wouldn't quit working.
It's not a.
However, if anybody that coming in that has £1 million, we are up to bribes.
I would assume, in fact, you could buy eModels and then you could join the team. Yeah,
we will happily take money off you. That was a complete sentence. There was nothing to come after that. We'll just happily take money off you. On that note, by the way, just a reminder, we over the last few weeks, we have been reminding you that we are on the lookout for more people to make video build videos for eModels. To join me, Ted, Chris, Tony, in the eModels build team. Not the live stream team, not this thing, but the actual video builders. We did put a thing out a few weeks ago asking you to submit a video. That's still ongoing, and it's going to continue to be ongoing. It's open-ended. We're not going to stop it. We've had a lot of good entries. We're going to start going through them in the next few weeks, the ones we've already had, and start fishing through them to see if everybody cuts the mustard. And we'll probably be getting in touch with people over the next
just a matter of getting us all together to have a chinwag about what's been submitted so far. So.
But we've had quite a few entries, and they're all good. But we'll be in touch with people over the next few weeks. But it's going to be open-ended. So if you haven't yet got around to doing a little demo video for us, it's not going to close. You'll still be able to put one through. So if you haven't done it yet, get round to it. It's worth it. We're just looking for people to help us out making videos. There is a video on the eModels YouTube channel, which explains what we're looking for, just in the demo video, because we just want a little 5-minute demo video. It explains what we're after, what we're looking for, and it also has a link to the kind of video content that we're looking for. So if you haven't seen it yet, when this stream is finished, pop along to the eModels YouTube page, check out the video that explains what we're looking for, and get a video submitted. Because you never know, could be you. You could come and join us helping make build videos.
It could be you.
It could be you.
Could be you. Yeah. Well, yeah. What we're going to do with all the videos as well, we're not going to discard them once they've been submitted. Unfortunately, we can't return them to you, but we'll keep them as a bank, so that we've always got a pool of prospective eModel builders that we could dip into. So if you don't get picked the first time, you might get picked the second time, or whatever, because whoever it could be that somebody we pick, the eModels build might not be what they really thought it was, and they might drop out. So we'll look for somebody else. So you never discount yourself.
And we're not just looking for necessarily one person. We'll take on, because we'll leave it open-ended and going forever. We'll just, each time we see someone who fits the bill and would be a good addition to the team, we'll just send them a mail and say, hey, do you want to do a video for us? So we're not just looking for one person or two or three. We might take on 12. We might take on one. It depends what you send us. But like Ted says, we will things to keep in mind is even if we don't pick you now, don't panic. Because once we've seen that you've sent a video, we know you exist, and we can keep an eye on your YouTube channel and see how you get on. And it might be that you send us a video and we look at it and think, well, not quite what we're looking for, but 6 months down the line or a year from now, when you've done other stuff, we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because really, when we joined, we were all crap.
Don't mince words, Ben. Pretty much.
But as we've gone on, we've developed, and we've got different sound systems, and we've got different cameras, and we've changed our workbench and places of work and things like that. And
we just like the crap.
Yeah, now it's more professional crap.
Yeah. But I would say go onto the YouTube page for eModels when this show's finished. Have a look at the video, because it tells you what we want. The only thing it doesn't say in there is please make your video at least 1080p. We're looking for at least 1080p. There you go. Yeah, because we're looking for quality production. So the video will tell you the kind of things you need to put in your demo video, but please make it at least 1080p. Yeah. We've had videos in 480.
Yeah. Don't forget though that when you join, if you're lucky enough to join us, it will be a team, so you won't be just left on your own. We'll be there to help and guide and advise and say that you're doing great, but have you thought about doing it this way? Or things like that.
Yeah, me and Foxx are very tactful in our word choices, and Ted will just tell you like it is.
The other thing, of course, as well is don't worry if the kind of videos you make are nothing like the kind of videos we put up on the eModels channel. Don't panic. Send us a video anyway. We've had a few entries where the people that have put a video through don't do the kind of videos we do, but that's fine, because we can say to them, brilliant, we like your production quality, we like the style. Can you do more building and showing? Because we've had some people where they just do like a show and tell thing. Well, that's fine. Because when we get the videos, we'll check out the kind of stuff you put on your channels. We won't just look at the demo video. And some of the ones that have come through are just they kind of do a lot of show and tell stuff. But we know that if we get them to do building on screen, building on camera, and showing and doing and telling, it'll be really good. So don't worry if you don't think it's the kind of style we're looking for. Just do a demo video anyway. We'll be the judge of that.
Spruglu's asking, do you have to be fully clothed in the video?
No, I no, because I never am. That's why you'll never see the hands.
Yeah. If you're not, then please make sure it's a bench view.
Yeah. Make sure there's nothing super reflective, like reflective ball on the desk.
Yeah, don't be doing C1 while you no.
Yeah. Just comedy hands. That's all you need.
Oh, well, we are.
Rusty Beetle says best I could do is a flip book of stick figures.
Yeah, if it works, yeah.
Spiddy Curate says you can get a decent sound video from your iPhone, from your phone, and a lavalier microphone for decent sound on your set. Here's what I do my filming on: a knackered old iPhone 5S and a £15 lavalier mic that plugs into the iPhone. That's what I do all my filming on, and that's 4 years old. And the microphone cost me 15 quid.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You don't need super duper high tech cameras and microphones and stuff. Most of you already got a camera on your smartphone, so there you go.
I just remember, if you are doing your modelling in the nude, don't drop the knife.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, never drop your knife anyway. But while we've been talking about that, the comments have still been coming in about if they won $1 million. Spruglu Alex says he'd donate it to a donkey sanctuary. And Andy McLeish says if he did win, he could join eModels and pay us, or just send us the money. We're taking that as a signed contract. So if you do actually win the lottery, follow through.
I've taken a screenshot of that. So
and it doesn't even mention if you win $1 million. If you win £10 next week on the lottery, then you still have to send us money.
Did he actually write in words that he would pay us? Because that'd be a nice change.
He does say that. Yep. Spitty Q8 says to Spruglu, would you hire a jumbo jet to tow a huge sign saying you never win anything?
His dad said he'd build a nice bright workshop at the end of the garden. Yeah, garden could be
something like an shed or something.
I'm going to the workshop. I may be some time.
Yes. Scale Model Vamp says I use my Hisense F20 Infinity for my videos. Great video and sound.
And Zedster says if you're filming in the nude, no glass work tables.
Yeah.
And Ray's going off, so saying good night.
Oh, thanks for Ray.
Good night. Yep. I said the questions are coming in, so don't forget to send your questions to ted@emodels.co.uk and include your address as well if you want a sticker or for having your question read out.
Red Len also says no hot glue.
Yeah, if you don't include your name and address, we can't send you a sticker if we use your question. We'll just use your question in mercenary anyway. We'll be mercenary and use it, and then go, but you don't get a sticker.
We might not even mention your name.
Yes, because we're not going to mail you back and say, can we have your name and address? Because we're far too busy.
Grey Wolf has a question. Hello, Grey Wolf. Haven't seen you in before.
Grey Wolf, like the name.
Welcome.
I have a question. Why acrylic instead of enamel paint?
Oh, yeah.
Foxx will be the expert with that. He'll first explain what the difference is between acrylic and enamel paints, and then he'll tell you which one to use.
Yeah, good. That's better making him work for his living, isn't it?
So Ted will have a snooze. Chris will check his emails.
And in the meantime, I'll play some soft music.
It depends what you want to do. You can use either, to be honest. The only difference between them are acrylic are water-based, apart from Tamiya's, which are alcohol-based, but acrylics are water-based and dry very quickly. And enamels are solvent-based and dry a lot slower than acrylics. You'll find a lot of people will tend to use acrylics for painting, actually painting colours on models. They use acrylics or lacquers, depending on what they want to do. And they'll tend to restrict enamel paints for things like weathering. So for the one advantage of enamels is that because they do take a long time to dry, if I was to brush paint some acrylics on a model, they could be dry and over paintable in 5 or 10 minutes, whereas enamels, it could take 2 or 3 days before it was fully cured and could have stuff painted over. So you tend to use them where it's advantageous, like for streaking and dirt and grime, because you can paint them on, and once they go a little bit dry, rub them off without any problems. You can use it for reverse washes, are great with enamels, because that's where you paint some acrylics down, you paint enamels over the top, and then rub away the enamel where you want the acrylic to show through, if you've got 2 different colors. So you can paint a model with enamels, you just have to wait around a lot longer for them to dry. The other difficulty is that with acrylics, you can kind of paint almost anything over an acrylic. as long as it's fully cured. You don't really want, well, you want to avoid painting things on top of enamels, because if you paint an acrylic or a lacquer or anything over an enamel, it's not fully cured, it's going to make a mess of your paint job. So the simple difference is acrylics dry fast, they're simple to use, they're great for beginners, they're not complicated, they don't stink as much. Enamels give you a beautifully fine, smooth finish if you airbrush them, but they do take forever to dry, and for most people it's too much of a faff.
It's acrylics v enamels are something that you could argue about forever. Some people will always paint in enamels, and some people will always paint in acrylics, and some people do excellent work with enamels. Just got to be more patient with them. But I guess we all probably started on enamels at the start. Remember the little tinlets of Humble paint and things like that. So that's where you started out, where you want to take it and what you want to do with it. But to throw different things in the pot, there's now AK Real Colours, which is sort of a bit more like the Tamiya paints. And there's lots of different versions of paints and things coming out. So it's whatever you settle on and whatever you could be happy with.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find that the by far the greatest selection of colours is in the acrylic paints. There's billions of them. Most people would say, the other thing with acrylics is as well, with acrylics, sort of Osric 9000 does say they're easy to clean up. Yep, there's a lot more different sort of thinners and things you can use for acrylics that don't involve turpentine or white spirit or odorless thinners. Most people tend to stick to them for weathering and things like that, and special effects. But there's nothing, and panel lining and things like that, where you want to be able to put a panel line in and then rub it off. Things like panel lining paints are often enamels. A lot of Ammo by Migs weathering products and AK's weathering products like streaking grimes and pin washes, they're all enamels. So they do have their uses. And the only real advantage with enamels over acrylics is enamels are a little bit more durable. But you never really know how long they take to dry and cure. I can't be doing with that. I need to know my acrylics are dry within, at the worst, 24 hours.
Yeah. As you get more serious into modelling, you just become more impatient, and you can't be hanging around waiting for things to dry. You want to get on with it and sort of get to the next stage. Yeah.
Brian Wimble asked a question that's not a question. He says he's still waiting for his sticker, Ted.
Yeah, we're next week's the end of the month, isn't it? So hopefully we'll get a batch out at the end of the month. It just saves us trips to the post office and bagging them all up, and then you win another sticker the following week.
I can see the email in the inbox, and it's labelled sticker to do.
Yep.
Right, so don't worry. We tend to bunch them up till the end of the month, really, because for Chris lives down south, they don't do posting things. They don't understand such concepts. But for Ted and I, we don't live near our post offices, so we tend to do a post office run if whichever one of us is doing it once or twice a month. Yeah. Same as I do with my own streams and stuff. I do it once or twice a month, so we let them pile up and then we bang them all out at the same time.
Or we could just email it to you, and you can print it out, cut it out, and then you could put some PVA glue on the back.
Yeah.
Yep. Glenn G says, I sent a giveaway question, but no name or address on it, as he doesn't want a sticker. He already won a big one the other week.
Okay.
That's also perfectly acceptable.
Speedy Curate makes a good point about enamels, which, going back to that, he says, if you want a gloss coat without clear coating and polishing, enamel is unbeatable for shininess. If you're doing metallic powders or spraying metallics that need a glossy black undercoat, for example, if you're spraying Alclad paints, or if you're using C1 metallizer powders or Ushi van der Rosen powders, anything like that, where it benefits from a gloss black undercoat, you can either use things like the UMP Gloss Black Primer, which is a doddle, dead easy, or a lot of people will use gloss black either lacquer or enamel paint as a base coat for their metallics to go over. But like I say, with enamels, you need to leave them longer than you think to fully cure. So if you go in and start rubbing things onto enamel paint and it's not fully cured, you'll just ruck it up and pull it off the surface. So yes, you can get some fantastic gloss finishes with enamels because they're thinner than acrylics. Yep. Redland says, thanks, Fox. My stickers arrived this week. Oh, that's stickers from me, not from eModels.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Belchin says he has a question. Ted, will eModels have to move to be able to display the submarine in the shop area?
Yeah, they will. They're just waiting for me to win the lottery so I can buy them out, and then they can move to bigger premises and things.
He actually then put another message down a bit later on and said, I've just tweaked. You built the sub, so eModels will have to move closer to you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
so eModels are going to have to open a branch next to you, so you don't have to move the sub very far.
We moved to Barrow, the home of British submarine building.
VSEL, Vickers Shipyard.
Yeah.
What does the EL stand for?
It's not VSEL anymore. Vickers Shipbuilding Engineering. It's BE Systems.
Oh, was it Vickers Shipyard?
I worked for VSEL. That's when I were a lad.
Yeah, when we used to go to Barrow from our caravan park, we used to pop into Barrow every now and then. That was in the days of it being VSEL.
Yeah,
I probably wandered around Barrow when you used to work there.
Yeah, probably run
you remember seeing him, that shifty guy in the hat?
No, but the only thing I remember about Barrow is, well, there's two things I remember about it. One was desolation, pretty much.
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
One was walking onto the train station, little rural train station, and there was like a train on the sidings, and it was only a little small station. I think it was the station that's near Sellafield, which is not Barrow, so I don't know why I'm mentioning that. Forget that bit. But all I remember is there was a small back street, and the back street was like a ginnel between two houses, and it led to the beach. And parked up on the side was almost like a barn find E-type Jaguar, but beyond any kind of rescue. It was empty inside, everything had been taken out. The body shell was just rusted and corroded to hell, and it was just there on the side of this back alley that led to the beach. And it was like,
no, that wasn't a disused E-type. It was just daily runabout. That's what
life was like in Barrow.
Yeah, that's what it's like, right? Yeah.
I think you go and walk too close to it and accidentally breathe on it, it'll all just collapse.
Yeah, I was like, that was a moment, and that just enhanced the dishevelment and desolation of Barrow in the 1980s.
Yeah, well, they try. Yeah, they try to. Everybody's proud of the town. They try to improve it, but unfortunately, it's it's not getting there. Well, we will. Some beautiful scenery around here. We're right on the doorstep of the Lake District. So if anybody's ever coming to Barrow or you're up this way, although it is a 25-mile cul-de-sac, so you have to be coming to Barrow to come here. You can't go anywhere else.
Yeah, once you get in Barrow, there's no way out.
Yeah, there's no way out. Yeah,
we used to invite everybody round for tea.
Yeah, everybody can come round for tea. There's only one. There's only one train in, and there's one train out.
Have you just described the entire of Barrow as a cul-de-sac?
It is. Barrow is the cul-de-sac on the end of the world.
Is that the tourist thing? Is Barrow? It's not as bad as you think. Probably.
It could be worse. Andy McLeish says, I was actually going over my stickers and flipped over the eModels one and saw the message from Ted. It means a lot. Thanks. You've been putting secret messages on your stickers.
Yeah, I always write a personal message to everybody that receives a sticker from me. What, you mean you don't?
I'll write them on the front.
The funny thing is, when I do sticker giveaways, I tend to write on the back of the sticker who's won it, and then when I send them out, I send them all to the wrong people. So people look at it, Bob. Who the hell's Bob? I don't know. Who's Dave? What?
I seem to remember you writing a message on the back of a sticker yesterday.
I was doing a live stream and had to go to the loo, so I got a piece of paper. I'm going for a wee back in a minute. So at some point, somebody will win a sticker on the back of which says "Going for a wee back in a minute." So there you go.
Right, Lord Barkley III has a question. It says, has anyone tried the Colour Shift paint line? I don't know it.
Can't I've heard of them. Never really heard of them.
Who makes it? Or I don't know.
I'm going to assume it's kind of like the what's the word?
Like the ones on the cars that are sort of green if you look at it from one angle and purple from another. And
yeah, there's a name for that paint, and I've actually totally forgotten it because we had a customer
when
he used to work in detailing. He had a Mercedes, a classic old Mercedes, in that a Varicolor. It was called a Varicolor paint, which is like blue or green. It changes when you look at it. And he said, can you do any resprays on this? And we went, no. You scratch it. That's it. End of. Not bad.
Pearlescent. They say it is. Is that what they call it?
It's made by Green Stuff World, apparently.
All right. But it's a type of paint called pearlescent.
Iridescent. Yeah, I'm going
to not so much colour changing, is it? Yeah. Mickle Pickle says Chris sent me stickers and wrote my name on the front because it's actually Mickle Gross. So yeah.
TK's in.
TK. He suggests it might be Chameleon Paint. Zad says Flip Paint. Philly says Iridescent. Yes, I think it's that kind of colour changing paint. I've not tried it though.
I see. So TK's been in for a little while. He's been watching but not saying anything.
He's a secret mod. He's like the secret item on the secret menu.
Jumping out when he needs to.
TVR use it a lot in some of the last Rovers. Yep, TVR had the Camaro, which had that colour changing paint.
Mr. Loth says known as Chameleon Paint over here.
I shall type it in the chat. That the brand name I've seen is Varicolor.
Varicolor.
But they're apparently an absolute pig to apply in real life on a real car, which is why we said to this guy, if you scratch your car, you have to have the whole car stripped and repainted. You can't just touch a bit in, because it's not just on the Varicolor, it's not just the layer of paint, it's different. You have to do different layers of different things. So.
You could do a patch, but you'd be able to tell that patch was done differently.
You have to just... It's not just about the top coat of the paint, it's stuff goes underneath as well.
Can you not just cover your car in sequins then, like they have on these jumpers and things like that, or just stroke it and it's a different colour?
Bling, man.
I saw a car parked down the road the other day that was done quite badly in matte black. And it looked like it had been brush painted on. It didn't look good at all. But matte was unusual. It's very strange seeing a car in matte.
Yeah, we had a Ferrari come in once that was red from the factory, but they'd had it wrapped in matte black, which would have looked great. Apart from it really wasn't a very good wrap.
Or crinkly and
wrinkles and bubbles and pits, and it's like, yeah, they didn't do that very well. Also, when we take the wrap off for you, we might knacker your paint. So,
James Chapman says the paint is Chroma Flare.
Chroma Flare
sounds impressive.
Yeah,
still not heard of it.
Nope. However, if it's something you want to try out, and if it's something that eModels don't have in stock, give them a shout, because they might be able to get some for you.
Yeah. TK said he saw the paint at the Scale Model Show last Saturday. I think there's a model show in the Netherlands last week, wasn't there?
Yeah, he didn't send us a shout out about it, so we didn't tell anyone. It does say, indeed, Chris, I've been lurking for 1 minute.
Yes. But yes, if you've got a model, if you've got a brand of paint that you want to get hold of, it's not in stock, give the guys at eModels a shout. Send them an email or fill out the contact form on the website, or give them a call, because if it's something they haven't got in stock now, they can probably get it for you. Because if they know somebody wants it, they'll get it.
Chris has got another question for Foxx. He says, Foxy, as a resident paint guru, and indeed guru of all model making, have you an opinion of Gravity Colors paints? They're supposed to match vehicle colors exactly.
Nope, because I've never used them. So I can't express an opinion on something I haven't used.
Yeah, that's the one thing about that, though. We come in here, we do this chat, and we can't profess to know everything. But these guys only need to type a question in chat, and somebody in chat knows about it.
But when you said we can't be expected to know everything, did you mean anything?
Anything, yeah. What we don't know, we just make up.
Yeah. So yeah.
Scale Model Vamp says something. Sticks color changing is awesome. Can't type the name fully. Sorry, don't want to affect anyone. There's actually a paint called Spastix. Spastix.
Oh, right. I was trying to think what might have been the word there that might have offended people, but yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's just the name of the paint. So, but yes, apparently that is very good. I never quite understood why they called it that, though, because it is kind of an offensive name, really, for paint product.
Well, I mean, is it offensive everywhere, though, or is it
true. I think pretty much.
Depending on where it was made, it might be something else.
Yeah, but somebody asked me yesterday actually about a question, and I was like, yeah, don't ask us in the chat because we won't know, but somebody in chat will.
Yeah.
Because often a lot of stuff that we don't know, because we've said this before, and this is why we like to get more people on the team, is that we have our own specialities. I like my sci-fi stuff. Ted likes his armor and stuff, and Chris likes his 144 scale and friends sci-fi and other stuff. But we don't do everything. None of us do shiny cars or shiny motorbikes, really. So, we don't have expertise there. So there's a lot of products that we won't normally use in our day-to-day model making. So by all means, ask any question, because often what we don't know, the people in chat will.
TK says SMC was fun. He didn't buy a kit, though. He did buy some airbrush cleaner.
Yes, and it's purple, so he can't mix it up with his decal solutions. TK, I don't know if anybody will ever know this, but TK once had some problems applying some decals to a model, and then realised he'd actually used the bottle of airbrush cleaner because it was in exactly the same kind of bottle as his decal setting solution. I wonder why they didn't work.
I do know TK is known for his decals, but I didn't realise there was added history. But we won't tell the public about that because
we won't tell anyone. It's just it's just between us.
Yeah. James Chapman says to Chris, if you want car colours, search for Zero paints as they match any car you need.
Yes, I've heard good things about Zero colour paints. If I remember rightly, they're supposed to be actual automotive. I could be wrong on this. I don't know. I've never used them, so I don't know. But I believe they're supposed to be automotive paints, specially prepared so that you can airbrush them. I think something along those lines. So I've never used them, but I know a lot of shiny car builders quite like them. I've heard good things about them. I've never used them myself. I don't do shiny cars, but I believe they're as close as you can get to, or they are actually automotive paints, but specially
put into small pots,
tweaked and adjusted so that they actually can just be airbrushed. But they're supposed to be very good.
Chris Belcher also suggests a new title for Monday evenings. He said Monday evenings with Ted Foxx, Chris, and I feed your fiction.
Yeah. Ted Foxx, Chris, and I feed your fiction. Yeah, we just make it up. Yeah, we don't know. We just make it up.
Nothing else happening. TK says it was only one decal and it's on film too.
A scale model Vamp says she found an importer for zero paints. Again, because eModels do ship to the US, although they don't ship everything to the US. So, but it's still worth asking them. Say, hey, can you get these paints in? Because I think zero paints are in the UK. Might be eModels can get them in if they can ship them to the US. There you
go. Right, where are we at now?
Jamie Bone says, "What's in store?" I think that might be a subtle hint that we haven't done what's in store.
Yeah, they've had enough. Had enough of our rambling.
We've been talking long enough. Let someone else talk for a bit.
Anders Eriksson says, "Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Anders."
Yeah, hang on. I'll just flick on that. See if anybody else see what the list of people participants.
Oh, Scale Model Vamp says no to shipping to South Africa for the zero paints.
Yeah. That's one of the.
Sorry, Ted.
I was just going to add on to what we said before about one of the questions that keeps getting asked about submitting your videos for eModels to become an eModels builder. Why can't we do it if we're not in the UK or the EU? It's mainly because it's about shipping stuff to the US, particularly to the US and abroad. eModels can't ship out various products, so it just makes things difficult.
Yeah, when you're an eModels builder, eModels will send you the kit and the stuff you need to make and build and paint it. Half the stuff they might not be able to send overseas because it's solvents or pressurized, so they can't send rattle cans and glues and some paints.
Yeah.
The other thing is, it can be quite expensive. If you ask them, if they get you to build a massive kit that's this big, it's a very expensive kit for them to send you and all the equipment. But on the other side, of course, they want that kit back when it's finished to go in their display cabinet. You'd have to ship it to them. And if you've just made a big, torpedo about this big.
Yeah, or Dora. Yeah, just imagine if you built Dora for eModels having to ship that back from the US.
Yeah, if you make a boat that big, you'd have to get a crate made. You're talking hundreds of pounds to ship it. So,
and it still might turn up broken.
Yes, if you're outside the US, outside the UK or the EU, unfortunately, it is only open to those areas, just because that's areas where eModels can feasibly ship the model and the products and stuff, and you can feasibly, potentially, get it back to them without too much hassle or expense to yourself.
Anyway, shall we carry on with what's in store?
That'll be me then, will it?
That'll be good. Hang on. I've got to lock it on you now, haven't I?
Oh, lock it on me, Tedward. Lock it on me.
Yeah,
I've got to find a button to press now. Now, as always, tonight there will be a theme. There is a theme. It's not hard one. This one is dead easy. There is a theme for tonight's What's in Store. So don't forget, if the first person to guess the theme will win are they winning a big fat sticker?
Yeah, we can win a big fat sticker.
Should we make sure people are refreshed and up to date as well? Because by the time the Watching Store's finished, it will be fastest finger first wins first. So make sure you're ready to go to press the button to type in the answer. So make sure you're actually watching live, not watching last week's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you win a big sticker if you get the theme, but don't answer until I've been through all the products.
Spiddy-Q8's already answered and said, "Is the common theme stuff from eModels?" You've answered before we said to answer, so you're invalid now. You can't answer.
Yeah, if you answer before I say what's the common theme go, which I'll do at the end of the What's in Store, we'll ignore the answer. So don't waste your answer. Don't shoot early.
Yeah, but somebody might steal the answer off you.
That's true. Anyway, let me do the screen share. So I shall. How do I do a screen share? I've forgotten. Is it locked on me, Tedward?
It's locked on you.
Go for it. We can't tell who's locked on anybody.
Right. There we go. Right. So we shall start the evening. Start this evening's selection. with this little natty little number. It's the Hasegawa 124th Nissan Bluebird 1600 SS in 1970. And it's a little adorable little 124th Bluebird kit. You've seen many taxis. If you live outside the UK, in some Asian territories, yes, it's a taxi. It's the East African Safari Rally win. The East African Safari is one of the most difficult rally races in the world. Held in Kenya, racers face rough roads, unpredictable weather, and long-timed hauls. Lots of information about the rally. Not a lot of information about the actual model kit itself. But I kind of have a soft spot for these 1970s sort of simple cars, the basic Japanese-style cars. At the same kind of time when American cars were all swoop and Coke bottle curves, the Japanese were perfecting their sort of economic simplicity.
I think something's gone wrong with my colour because that looks red. It's not blue.
Yeah. What? Wait, what?
You see, it was a bluebird.
Oh. Banned. So the first one tonight is the Hasegawa 124th Nissan Bluebird 1600S. Well, it's actually the triple S, 1600 triple S. Bit of a typo on the eModels site there. The 1970 East African Safari Rally winner. Clearly, it's a good car because it won. So there you go. So that's the first one. Next up, we have... Oh, don't forget, of course, if any of the stuff we show you in the What's in Store tickles your fancy, what do they do, Ted?
Slap it in your basket.
Yeah, and don't forget, it's not yours until you've paid for it. So if you just put it in your basket and wait to the end of the show, then by the time you come to check out, somebody else could have bought it and taken it out of your basket. So if you really do want one of the things we show you, get it in your basket and cash it out. You keep watching at the same time, but get it in the basket and cash it out. You can always come back for more later.
George is on my side. He said he laughed.
What was what?
George laughed when I said it wasn't blue.
Yeah, but you're sending him money.
I've got somebody on my side. It's fine.
It's amazing what you get when you're paying it.
Don't forget as well, we picked these What's in Store just before we come live on air, and we don't know how many they've got. So they might have one, they might have 101, but we don't know. Do you want to take that chance if you fancy it? Slap it in your basket, check it out before it gets
in your basket.
Yeah, slap.
What's next? Next up, we have the Tamiya 1/20th scale McLaren Ford MP4/8 limited edition Formula One car, and this is a very nice. It's a limited edition re-release of the McLaren Honda MP4/8 Formula One model kit. The original kit was released in '93, and it looks rather mint. That now, my friend Nikki, who's a bit poorly sick at the minute, she loves McLaren. She absolutely adores McLaren. She's a McLaren fan, or she was until they all went a bit to pot. But she loves McLaren, so she'd be up for that.
Yeah, I was just caught a little bit of the American Grand Prix. I think it was on at the weekend. I realised that these cars change every season, don't they? There's something different about them. So when did you say this was from? 88?
The kit was released in late 1993.
93, yes.
It was developed. The MP8 was for the 1993 Formula One season. Made its race debut in the opening round in South Africa. The car utilised such technological advances as active suspension and a semi-automatic transmission, which applied optimal gear control tailored to the race circuit. I've actually been to McLaren, and I've actually walked around their factory, and I've seen that car in real life because they've got all the cars lined up in their sort of foyer. And I've walked around their place. It's fantastic. It's got a lake at the front, and the lake actually powers the whole building.
I was just thinking as well. Wasn't McLaren? Some of the experts in the chat might tell us. Wasn't McLaren red and white?
Yes, they tend to be. They vary. The red is their favourite colour. No, Ferrari's red. What am I talking about? McLaren is other colours. But yes, it's a very nice factory. I got to go there because my friend Nikki is also an artist and she knows all the guys at McLaren. So I got to go on a junket for free. It was great. So yes, this is a 1/20th kit of the McLaren 1993 F1 car, which had its opening round in South Africa. So there you go. Nice bit of Formula One buildage there for your shiny airplane car fans. And not bad, 22 quid. That's be all right. Really.
Michael Jackerman says, "Damn it, Fox! I've been trying to get in McLaren's place for years."
Yeah. Well, no, my friend, because my friend knows them and she's an artist, so she got in on some press junket because she did a load of portraits of their drivers. So they had a big event at their headquarters, and I got to go along. It was great.
But I can't even get into the sale. I couldn't even get into the sale room when I was on holiday. The building next door to our hotel was a McLaren sales room.
Well, the funny thing was that because they've got the big open area where you walk in, and then they've got all these glass windows, like behind which is literally where they're designing and building the cars, like the super secret ones that are like the Formula One cars. And they have like the first window is like frosted over, so you can't see in. But if you go up onto the walkway at the top, you can see over that, and it's like they just said all they could say was, "Please don't look in those windows because that's all next year's Formula One cars. We just don't want you to see that." We're like, okay, looking now.
James Chapman seems to know a bit about it. He says they used to be red and white, then went black and silver, then black and red, now orange and blue.
That's the one.
So they haven't really got a fixed theme. They're probably just picking and choosing until they find one they like.
Yes. If anybody actually follows me on Facebook, my personal account, I've actually got a gallery of all the pictures from McLaren in there.
So when you looked over the top of this glass screen, were they all there with the ram around the sort of paper that we're writing on? So
yeah, don't be copying my answers.
Couldn't copy.
I didn't know what I was looking at. It was all bits of cars. I don't know. But I've got to tell you, I walked into the factory part as well. It was the cleanest factory I've ever seen. It was like I could eat off the floor. Very weird. Anyway,
they probably wouldn't let you eat off the floor.
McLaren Ford MP48. Nice bit of Formula One gear for you there for only 22 quid. Not bad at all. Next up, we have the Italeri 1/72 El Alamein War Battle Set. I have to say, Monty's looking a bit like Tedward there. A little bit of Tedward in Monty's face there.
I was Monty's double.
I don't know who Rommel looks like. He reminds me of someone. A bit like David Attenborough, bizarrely.
Pete mate.
But yes, so you've got Ted on the front and lots of other bits. It's quite a nice little set, this, because it's a whole diorama with the figures and the tanks and the vehicles and everything. You've got, there's actually a picture of the diorama there. Is it there? Can we get on that? You can see there. A nice little railway. They're obviously trying to take over the railway station. And there is a bit of action going on. There we go.
Fester's just on its way out. Fester's just
got to go. Thanks for coming in, Colin.
Yeah,
thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for your help.
Yep. You've got a Sherman coming up in the rear there. You've got a, what's that? Is that a Panzer IV, Ted?
I can't quite see it because I've got the screen tiny. Yeah, it looks
tank.
Like no, it's not
Panzer
Panzer. No, it's not Panzer IV.
That's a Panzer II, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Panzer I, maybe. Yeah, and you got an 8. You got a. That's not an 88 though, is it? That's
not 88. No.
That's a Bofors, isn't it? I think. Not sure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Anyway, yes. So they're obviously taking this train station, and it's a nice little diorama, all 1/72, beautifully painted. Actually, got to say there, you got to give them credit for that.
First time I've seen this kit.
Yeah, and you've got one of them little trucks that I've made one of those in 1/35 scale. I think we've all made one of those, haven't we, Ted?
That looks like it's a quad, isn't it? From
quad truck.
Yeah, quad and gun limber.
Oh, D says they're all angry British Rail customers.
No, they're all Northern Rail customers. It's worse.
It's actually based on the Barrow railway station that you mentioned before.
Yep, this is how you get the train in Barrow. Well, it's Friday night at the Newcastle Central train station. But yeah, nice little sets. You've got a whole diorama set there with the buildings and the figures and the vehicles. And that's quite nice. I like that. It's not often you get. I mean, it's weird how you get stuff in 1/72 scale. Not a lot of people gravitate towards it. They're used to the big 1/35 and 1/48 scale. But
it could be quite handy for wargaming and things like that. This little set.
Yeah, you still have a lot of fun in 1/72 scale. It's a good challenge as well to paint the little figures. I find it quite a good challenge.
The massive figures, you mean? Yeah. The figures that are twice the size that they should be.
Yeah. So you've got that. Does it say on that? You get Alamein railway station. You get a water tank. I can't read that bit. Can't read that.
Tank, gun,
gun, tank, truck,
car,
guns, dudes,
running man, and track.
Ted, Chris, and I. And there you go. So that's a nice little. That'll keep you going for a while. That's quite a nice little diorama, all in the same box.
Yeah, that's loads of stuff.
Yeah. Box dimension. It tells you the size of the box, but not the size of the model. But it's 1/72 scale, so you can.
62 quid. There's a lot of work in there for 62 quid.
Yeah, quite a lot of fun you could have with that diorama. Bit of all right, that. What's next? Next we have.
Don't forget, slap it in your basket.
Oh yeah, that was quite disturbing through my speakers there. Next we have the Polar Lights, the Wizard of Oz, Wicked Witch of the West diorama.
All right, yeah, yeah. This is resin kit.
Yes, this surprised me because I was like, I looked at the price and thought that's a bit strange, and then realised it's a resin. It's actually a resin sculpt. So it's actually more than worth it. And it's one of the Polar Lights, they do a lot of sort of classic character series kits. Frankenstein and various Draculas and things like that, the mummies and things like that. They seem to have this thing for sort of sci-fi and legendary characters. So for this one, you've got the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah. It's Halloween soon, so there you go.
I actually know somebody who's got this kit, and they want me to build it for them. They've asked if I would build it for them. And the only thing that's put me off is just finding the right green for the Wicked Witch.
I can point a few paints your way, but I can't mention them on the stream.
Yeah, I'm sure that maybe some of the game colours would be quite good for that.
Yeah. There's a few Vallejo game colours I could put in your direction there. It's basically orc skin. Warhammer orc skin. There we go. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of mint kit. Very detailed. I'm sure everybody watching could do a better job of the eyes than whoever painted this demo model.
Nicholas C said, "Which one is Ted in this then?" Yeah, I'm the little one on the left, just there in this scarecrow.
He's scarecrow. Yeah. Is it the brainless scarecrow or the heartless? Yeah. What was it? The Iron Man. The scarecrow had no brain. Was it brain?
Yeah, I think
the Iron lost his heart.
Yeah.
And the Iron Man.
Courage, wasn't it?
Courage? No, Lion was courage. Iron Man was heart, and Scarecrow was just an idiot.
Yeah, that's me then.
That's all of us.
Welcome to the eModels team, live from the Wizard of Oz.
Yes. So the description reads, based on the movie The Wizard of Oz, no, you would never have guessed that. The intricate diorama depicts the witch and the leader of the winged monkeys as they leer into her crystal ball, revealing Dorothy and her companions, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Cowardly Lion. It's a highly detailed engraved resin piece, which has choice of extra hands, allowing to hold broom, one-piece broom, which comes with 4 pieces, hat, head, body with dress, and cloak, and so on and so on. So it's quite a detailed kit. Everybody watching could do a much better job of the paint job than they have on here.
Yeah, it's more about the painting than the building, isn't it?
Yes. It always amazes me, though, when you get these companies that put these models out, I don't know, they never seem to put the effort into painting the display piece that they put on the box, on the artwork. I don't know, you think they get the best artist they could find to paint these things, but never mind. But that looks fantastic. I don't know how big it is.
It is quite big. I haven't actually seen the model. I've seen the box. It's quite big. There is a bit of assembly required in it, but yeah, I suppose that we're bound to be inflicted with the Wizard of Oz with run up to Christmas, aren't we? So
I have to say, this is one of the films that I refuse to watch. I hate it. I hate Wizard of Oz. I leave the room when it comes on. I'm like, I'm sorry, walking out now. I don't know why. This and Grange Hill, I just leave the room. Don't know why.
Very similar film, Grange Hill and Wizard of Oz. Very similar.
We've got more images. Hang on. There we go. Better look at the witch. It's not a bad likeness, actually, of the actress. Again, if you ignore
the eyes aren't too bad on that one.
Yeah, they need to get someone who can.
I've seen the stage play Wicked, which is supposed to be the follow-up to Wizard of Oz. That's very good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of detail in the clothing there, which the artist that's painted it hasn't bothered to do anything with at all. I think the potential for a lot of the people we know and our viewers and things that do really good figures.
Yeah, I know somebody that would excel at this kit.
Oh, I know. Our friend Chandra would do an awesome job on that.
I didn't want to say a name, but yeah, Chandra.
And a few. I mean, Kenneth would do an awesome job on. Kenneth who's in the chat. He would do an awesome job on this because he's fantastic at figures.
Yeah. This is one of the questions about painting black capes, isn't it? Black on black, and
So don't let the terrible paint job on these photos put you off.
It doesn't come.
If you look past the paint job, it's actually a nicely detailed resin kit. You just have to know that you can paint better than the person that painted this. It's the thing about Polar Lights, they never do the best paint jobs on their models. It's like...
No, they do some good stuff. They do some unusual sort of subjects. But
yeah, they're well known for their kind of classic fiction and sci-fi characters. So they do lots of Frankensteins and Draculas and other things like that. So it's kind of the sort of style of stuff they do. But that's that one. Next, we have the Lindbergh 1/250 scale Barbary pirate ship. First behind.
Talk like a pirate day.
That's right. Well, we've missed that by about 3 weeks, but never mind. It says the 250. I'll start again. 250 scale Barbary pirate ship from sails to the oars. This kit is ship shape R. Barbary Coast was the name given to the northern coast of Africa during the 16th to 19th century. So on and so on and so on. Don't care about the geography. Pirates. Offers a detailed 4 3/4-inch replica of the distinctive sailing ship. Kit features details like wood grain, injected plastic sails, and decals for the sail, nameplate and flags. Kit details include 4 3/4-inch length detailed kit cap. Well, that's a bad sentence. 4 3/4-inch length detailed kit captures. Oh, it says the same thing twice. Never mind. Yes, so nice little weekend kit, that one, I think.
Barbary pirate, yeah.
A little bit of a piratey. Arr.
I quite like the way that they call it ship shape.
Yeah, I know. This is from the sails to the oars. This kit is ship shape. Arr. Arr. I'll move on now. So there you go. Nice little fun weekend project there. Barbary pirate ship Feluca on 250th scale. I've never seen a Lindbergh ship kit before. Could be interesting to see that. Arr. Moving on before we all start doing pirate stuff. Next, here's your Christmas wish list kit. The Tamiya 1/6 Honda CRF 1000L Africa Twin. Now, somebody knows about this.
That.
Oh, where have you seen that before?
Somebody knows about this kit, don't they, Chris?
I've seen that one on display at eModels.co.uk.
Tell us all about this kit, Chris.
It's a motorbike. It's
Thanks.
wheels, 2 of them.
Now over to Bob on the sports desk. Bob. Sell it to us, Chris. Sell it to us.
It's
massive,
big.
isn't it?
It's massive. It's 1/6 scale, and it's got lovely spokes in the wheels that you put in one at a time.
And if you film them and then get me to watch you doing it, it makes me stressed out.
Yeah, I just wish we could have filmed you watching me film it, because that would have been great.
I watched the video of Chris putting the spokes in, and they were like, "You're gonna break it! You're gonna break it! No!" They were bending almost to beyond tolerance, and I was like, "Oh,
just fine." It's lovely. There's the choice of 2 different liveries with it: the red or the tricolor, which is the one that they tend to do nice. I think there was a 3rd color that it was available in, like a matte black.
Oh yeah,
but
street hawk style.
I went with the red because I liked it.
If you painted it matte black, you would just sat there all day going, "This is Jesse Mark, an ex-motorcycle cop injured in the line of duty."
Yeah, but then I'd have the Airwolf theme going through my head. Because
what, not Street Hawk?
No, I can never remember the Street Hawk theme until it's
dead.
I have seen these bikes for real, and they're huge.
Yeah. So's the model.
I actually saw a couple of them parked up in town after I built it and took a couple of pictures of them. And it's like, you can put the picture of that next to the kit, and you could really, in a picture, you can't tell the difference between the two of them. The detail on this kit is amazing.
Yeah, now if you know your Tamiya motorbike kits, you know they do some phenomenally outstanding motorbike kits from the small 124 scales up to these kind of big 1/6 ones. This is one of their like prestige level bike kits. It is massive. If you're local to eModels, next time you pop in, this is in the display cabinet, the one that Chris built. There is a series. Chris's series is on the eModels YouTube page. So when you go there to look at the video about telling you how to make a demo video to be a video builder, also go and look up the Africa Twin build series. It's all in a single playlist of Chris building this kit. It's massive. And it's phenomenal.
Lots of screws and bolts as well as gluing bits together. So it's sort of engineering as well as kit building.
Yeah, and it's got proper sprung suspension, everything, hasn't it? It's got all the bits and bobs.
Yeah, working kickstand and sort of storage stand thing. It's
not a working engine.
No, not a working engine. The engine looks like it should be really heavy, but it isn't.
Yeah.
The chrome on it, I didn't re-chrome. I left it all as the kit chrome, and it looks really nice. Most of it's undergated, so you can't actually see where it's cut off screws and things.
I mean, you can see
lovely and shiny.
That's the actual kit chrome there on the bottom of that exhaust pipe, and it's like obviously the chrome bit, and it's like, you know what, Tamiya know how to do their mechie plating. They know how to do it and give you undergating, so it's not complete nonsense. But yeah, if you want to see that kit in action, go and watch Chris's video build series on this YouTube channel. But if that's something you're after, again, we don't know how many of these they've got in stock. I'm sure they'll have more. eModels is the UK's largest Tamiya stockist, so they will get more in when they got stock. But if you want one of these, we don't know how many they've got in. Don't hang around, slap it in your basket.
I'm pretty sure they won't have lots of them in stock because the box is huge.
It's a big box, a massive box. So if you fancy that, get it in your basket and get it checked out before everybody else buys one.
Why is it? Because I don't know the Street Hawk theme. I've got Airwolf going through my head.
I know Airwolf is the instant replacement for Street Hawk. I've got Street Hawk in my because I know the Street Hawk theme. I won't do it because of copyright. But it's Tangerine Dream, same as Airwolf. So there you go. No, Airwolf wasn't Tangerine Dream. Never mind. Moving on. Trumpeter, 135th South African Recat. I don't know how you pronounce. The only thing I can say in Afrikaans is Yabru. but that's about it. So
African Ruka.
this would be, I can't do it. I was going to try and do an Afrikaans accent, but I just won't because it'll be embarrassing. Here we go. What do you need to know? It's trumpeter, it's 135th, it's an armoured vehicle. You know it's going to be good.
It's a bit like your striker, isn't it?
Yeah, my striker was great fun. I don't do AFVs, but I enjoyed my striker. It was great fun. Apart from the decals, I got a third party to make, which were terrible. But I like that. And the thing with this is, it's actually longer than you think. I mean, you look at it from the side view, they kind of made it too long, and the wheels are all spread out. It looks really weird.
It seems like they started off to make a tank, and then I put wheels on it.
Yeah, I think it looked better with tracks on it.
They were like, no, it's going to break up the roads too much. We need to put wheels on so it doesn't make a mess of the roads. We spent a fortune putting tarmac down. It'll destroy the roads.
Oh, so them South Africans were from Liverpool, were they?
Yeah, they're Welsh. But yeah, this is going to be one of your typical trumpeter builds. Trumpeter known for their armoured. It's only got 2 parts, as you can see there. It hasn't really only got 2 parts. It's got all them as well. It's got... they're kind of well known for their detail and accuracy, and they are fun builds. I really enjoyed making my striker. If photo etch make you panic, don't worry. It has 1 single piece of photo etch. It says. Now that may just be 1 sprue, or it might be 1 single piece.
Network Noob says Roy is pronounced like Roy. So Roy
Roy Cat. Roy, apparently.
So something cat. So we need to now know what Roy means in Afrikaans.
It's Roy Cat.
Roy Cat. Now, the other thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to say this, is there is a maximum potential here to Warhammer this up.
Or you could not.
Yeah, if you obviously most people won't, but if you wanted to, you could Warhammer that. You could get some Aquillas on it, and because again it's 135th, it's nothing on there telling you how big it is. You could get some Warhammer dudes on there, like I did with my little AML 90. Brilliant.
Network Noob is saying that red is red, so it's Red Cat.
Red Cat.
And once again, I think there must be something wrong with my colour because I can't see any red on it at all.
There's a blue cat on the decals.
Yeah, see, that's blue, and the other thing was blue, and it was red.
And there's the thing that says tiger. It's got an almost copyright breaching picture of a tiger, almost copyright breaching, but not quite.
It's more like a panther, really. Isn't it?
I can see the cat as well over on decal number 7.
Yep.
Oh.
But I can't read what that says. It says Sylvester, so there's almost some copyright breaches there, but they maybe had to alter them just a bit, so they weren't quite breaching any copyright entitlements.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. It's the South African red cat.
Kenneth's asking, is there a version that has tracks?
And Andy's answered him and says, "No, Ken, it's all wheels."
Yeah, who said that? Kenneth.
Yeah.
This is an ongoing feud between me and Kenneth because I made my Warhammer Taurox, took the tracks off, and put wheels on it. It's an ongoing good-natured feud between me and Kenneth.
I don't think it's good-natured anymore.
Yeah, he's out for blood now, isn't he? What you need to do, Kenneth, is get a Taurox and get the tracks off the Taurox and then put them on this. What's next? This is quite a lot of options we've got in the shop.
This has been the longest what's in store ever.
Yeah. We've got one left, which is the good old classic.
I built this.
35th British LR Long Range Desert Group Command Car North African. Now, I picked this one for another reason, which is that the eModels, which is a big delivery, have lots of Tamiya classic kits that they've reissued. They've re-released and repressed a load of their old classic kits, and I can't remember if this is one of them, but a lot of their really old sort of 1970s toolings they've repressed and reprinted, and they've re-released them, and they've just come in stock. So if you're a Tamiya buff, like I said before, they are the UK's largest Tamiya stockist. Go and have a wander through the Tamiya sections, do a filter search for Tamiya. There's a lot of old classic kits that you might not have seen for quite a few years that are now back on the shelves, and they've had them all delivered in last week or so.
I built this kit, and I've got some pictures to show you. It's fantastic.
Yes, I shall transfer. What I'll do is I will whiz over to you first, Ted, and you can show off your pictures. But I'm not going to say answer the thing yet because I'm not doing that yet.
Right.
So if I unlock it off, if I take it off my screen, however, don't answer the theme question yet.
Yeah.
Everyone's forgotten what the first one was now.
I know. Everybody's forgotten what it was now.
Right, I'll do a screen share, and it'll be all floppy like that.
Make sure it's not locked on me as well.
No, it's not locked on you. This is the Tamiya Long Range Desert Group. It's a Chevy truck. And there's also it's fantastic because it comes with all the storage that you see in the back, got the figures, Is this the Master Box kit as well?
Is it what? Sorry.
Is the Tamiya one? Is it the Master? Does it contain the Master Box figures?
No, it just comes with the. If I remember rightly, it's the. Oh, hang on, let me have a look.
It's the original one, right? Because you can get a version where it is, as in this one, it comes with Master Box figures.
It says. Set of rich equipment of drums and jerry cans, bags, accessories such as boys' anti-tank rifle and a Berengen also available. Tires, soft plastic for the real feel of material. There's some really bad translation here from the original Japanese. It's got 7 members of the long range desert group.
Right, yeah, it probably does.
The figures shown in there.
Yeah, probably does come with the Master Box figures then.
Yeah,
I as you can see with this one, I've paired it up with the Tamiya SAS Jeep. I made a little diorama out of it. It's a fantastic kit. Goes together like a dream, as you would expect from Tamiya.
I made one of these. Must be going back to the late 80s when I was just getting into model making. At the same time, I did the same. I've done that Jeep and the SAS Jeep and that Chevy truck, and they are fantastic kits. Yeah. It's proper classic Tamiya 1980s tooling, which at the time were a million miles ahead of everybody else's toolings, basically.
Anyway, I'll return to what's in store. Stop sharing.
There you go. So is it not locked on you now?
It's not locked on me.
Okay, so that was all the stuff we have in store. So if you can remember what we were starting off with, what was the theme? Go. I might want to refresh the thing first, but what was your theme? Go.
I don't even know the answer to this because I can't guess.
Yep. What was the theme? Kenneth says it will be a travesty to take the tracks off of Turox to put on something else. And straight away, Osric 9000 says Africa. That was Africa. It was kind of easy. And I have to give credit to Chris because he said to put the Wicked Witch in because Wizard of Oz dog was called Toto. Toto did the song Africa. There you go.
The tenuous link from this week.
Yeah, you've got to be a bit tenuous from time to time.
It's Toto.
So Osric 9000, well done. You've won yourself a big fat sticker. So send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk and just say, I've won a big Mr. E sticker. Please, can you send that to me? Thank you very much. All the same. And include your name and address, obviously. Well done.
Cool. Yep.
Anders is saying, where does the McLaren fit in? Where was the first race it won or whatever? It debuted at the African GP. Or the first race was in Africa. Yeah.
If it wasn't in the name of the model, there was the thing in the description about Africa somewhere. I just did a search for Africa, and that's what came up.
Right, we've still only got the one shout out, so should we do the shout outs now?
Yeah, go for it.
Get them out of the way. As ever, if you've got anything happening, events, weddings, funerals, baptisms, dogs' birthdays, model shows, anything else happening that you want to tell us all about and tell the world about, send your emails into ted@emodels.co.uk. Just like someone did. Who sent it? I can't tell who sent it.
Was this a shout out?
Yeah.
It was from G.A. Presswood.
Oh, right. I just saw Gap Presswood. But
Gap Presswood.
Whenever I see that name, it looks like Grapeswood.
I can't miss his grapes as well.
It's happy birthday for last Saturday, the 20th. So 2 days ago.
Oh, do we need to sing happy birthday then? We have to, don't we?
He's also put in a question there, so we could tie it into the question if you want to do a sticker giveaway tied into the question. It's not really a question anyone can answer though, because
we can have to give him a range of numbers. We can't just say what number is it. I've done that once. It took about 45 minutes.
The range of numbers would be less than it would be just a random number. Because
I wanted a quiz question. Said what number I've written on my hand and didn't suggest a range of numbers, and it was like it took 25 minutes for anyone to get anywhere near the right. A few people are saying hello to Mama Fox.
Yeah. Hi, Mama Fox.
Hello, Mama Fox.
I assume she's watching on the big telly downstairs. If not, she's probably watching on the iPad. Even though I've told her she should watch it on the big telly.
Yeah. The question for James there is: does eModels do layaways for partial payments? Has he seen something he wants but can't afford it in one shot?
Could that be the Africa Twin by any chance? Do you think?
Yeah. No harm in asking. Yeah. Ask them. They might be able to set something up for you. But drop up an email.
Just a quick note, of course. I know there was no malicious intent behind it, but please don't mention other retailers in the chat. this is an eModels stream, so obviously.
Right, well,
TK says model making puppy defended the family and killed a mouse. Is that shout out worthy? Yes. Yes, that would be shout out worthy. We'll take anything.
Model making puppy who is the size of a horse. TK actually messaged me the other day and said that he's noticed in his neighborhood there's a couple of small yappy dogs that, the kind of little annoying dogs that bark at molecules because there's an air in the garden, they bark at it. And he says these things are sit there going yip 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 all day long. A model making puppy who is a massive German Shepherd just does one really deep kind of boo, and it just shuts all the local yappy dogs up. But I'd be more impressed if it killed the spider, not a mouse. But there you go.
So, shall we do a question giveaway from?
Okay, we're doing stickers and mugs and things.
We'll do one while we're here.
Yeah, right. Let me clear some of this up. Where are we up to? Yep. Somebody else asked about when they're still waiting for the big eModel sticker. If you didn't catch us before, Paul, they will be on the way to you within, I think next week's the last week of the month.
Is that Paul Di Tommaso? By any chance?
Didn't notice.
Yes, it is.
I can see his email here. Yeah, we keep all the emails to one side until the end of the month because Ted and I live nowhere near a post office, so it's a bit of a pilgrimage. So we tend to go once.
Yeah, and you might win another one next week. In which case, we're not going to send you out two. We'll just send you out two at once.
Yeah.
So we
right. So what are we going to give away for GA Presswood's?
Big. Small sticker. We did a big sticker for the.
Did a big sticker for the other thing, so we'll do a little sticker.
We'll do a little sticker.
What, are you doing G.A. Presswood's question?
I shall do his question that he sent in to do with his birthday.
Okay, give him a range, though. Obviously,
I will give him a range.
Before we do that, we're going to do the giveaways. So before we do anything, you need to refresh your page, refresh your browser window right now, and then drag the slider across. We always say that, but they'll be refreshing it when we say drag the slider across.
Yeah. Well, no, they refreshed it before you started your what's in store, but that was 3 weeks ago. So
yeah. So refresh your browser window right now, because there's often a lag between the audio and the video at this point.
Yeah, you can tell when you've refreshed your browser because we go from there over to there. We jump a little bit.
Yeah, we stopped talking about Jimmy Hoffa and stuff. And don't forget, of course, a couple of things. When we go off the first person to answer in the chat, we see the chat differently to you guys. You see the chat biased towards you, so you'll always be, as soon as you type an answer, it will appear in chat. We don't see that. We see it in the order that YouTube receives it. So even if you're the first person to answer on your chat, doesn't mean you're actually the first person to answer the question live.
You're more likely to appear higher on your chat than our chat because your chat's already with you.
Yeah, your chat is on your computer. What we see is YouTube's server. So
when you press the send button, it comes up on your feed, but it then gets sent to YouTube and then gets sent to us. So it takes a while to get through.
Yeah, and don't forget, of course, we're going to be giving away stickers and mugs. You're more than welcome, if you've already got one, to answer the question and get another one. You can have as many as you like. However, if you've got one already, sticker or mug, and you don't want another one, don't answer the question, because then it just gets really confusing. If you say, can you give my prize to someone else, then it gets a real pain in the bum. So if you don't want to win one, don't answer the question. And at the moment, we're out of stock of the eModels mugs again. James, mate, let me know. They're actually out of the mugs. They've got more on order. But don't worry, we'll just get them sent out once they get back in stock, because they don't last long. These these
are the version 2 mugs.
Version 2 mugs. Yeah. They haven't said they're doing a version 3 yet, are they?
Yeah, they could be on a version 3 next.
So yeah, what we'll do is we'll still give them away each week, and then as soon as they come back in stock, they'll send them all out, and they'll be out of stock again straight away. So there you go. Anyway, carry on. I'll shut up.
Right. Well, I'm assuming everybody's refreshed by now.
Yeah.
I know James Chapman says he's done refreshing, so he's okay. So at least one person's ready to answer. Right. It was G.A. Presswood's birthday on Saturday, and he has a question for everyone if you want to use it, which we will.
It's for a small sticker, isn't it?
For a small sticker. He says, how old am I? Try Googling that, he says. To give you a clue as to a range, I'm pretty sure he's retired. So that gives you a fair range, but, I'm sure someone will get there pretty quick.
Yeah, but what is his retirement? Early retirement.
So what is G.A. Presswood's age?
How old was G.A. Presswood on Saturday?
Yes.
And no Bobbington, it wasn't 42.
Yes. He's past retirement age.
There we go.
But Bobbington tries again with 71 and he's dead spot on.
Wow, that was a really good guess, the nuclear Bobbington, because it's exactly the right answer.
Unless you know each other.
Yeah, well, we don't know that. So there you go. That's a very good guess, considering everybody else has gone for around about retirement age, because they thought that was the clue.
Yeah.
He just said 71. There you go. Well done. Send it
Congratulations.
to eModels.co.uk and say you want a small sticker so we know which one to send you. What's next? We need a big sticker or a mug?
It must be a mug now. Then we'll go on to a big sticker. Right?
Okay, I'll do one for the mug.
Right.
Okay, this is one by... hang on, I need to... did we get an address for GA Presswood, by the way, to send him a sticker?
I didn't, no. So, Ace, we use your question, so send us in your address and we'll send you out a sticker if you want one.
Yeah. So GA Presswood just send a thing saying, use my question, here's my address. I'll delete the email, though, so... If you do send us your name and address, by the way, as soon as we've done your sticker and sent it out or whatever we're sending you, we delete your email so we don't keep your name and address, so don't worry about having your name and address sent to us. Okay, I just deleted something, and it wasn't the one I wanted to delete. So I've just deleted the email. I don't know whose it was. That could go wrong.
Oh, it's not whoever's you deleted before last time, was it?
I don't know. I just deleted something. I'll go and find it later.
Yeah, that's my usual problem.
And it was like, that wasn't the right one. It just deleted a completely different email to the one I had highlighted. Oh, well. Right, we have a question from Luke Losa.
All right, got that one.
Do tell us if we're not pronouncing that right. Luke Losa. He says, apologies if this has been submitted before, but it has been asked before, but it's a good question, so I'll ask it again.
Yeah.
And this is for a big sticker. It's not actually that big. That's on a piece of paper.
It's that big.
Yeah, it's that big. It looks just like that one there.
Yeah.
Andy McLeish says Foxx. Grrr. I don't think it wasn't your email he deleted.
It might have been. I don't know. Oh no, that's the one below.
Let me have a look in the bin.
You go in the bin section. It might have been archived. I think it was archived.
No, we've still got yours, Andy. Don't worry about that. It's fine.
Okay, so the question is: everybody ready? The question is: what company produced the first plastic scale model? Go.
I remember this one.
Yeah, we have had it before, but it doesn't matter. It's a good question.
No, it's a good question. Yes.
Chat down because it's not actually up to date. Sally James. Yeah, Lord Barclay III to me says frog, and frog is the right answer. Yeah, according to Wikipedia, the first plastic models were manufactured at the end of 1936 by Frog in the UK, with a range of 1/72nd scale model kits called Penguin. So there you go. Well done, Lord Barclay. Send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk and say you won the big sticker.
Yay.
Right, your turn, Ted.
Right. Yep.
Luke, you didn't send us your name and address in the email. Send us your name and address and we'll send you a sticker.
Right. Yep. This one's from Andy McLeish. This one's for a big sticker as well, isn't it?
This is for a mug. We've done a big sticker now.
Oh, is it for a mug?
All
right. Right. Yeah. It's a question about the big sticker then. No, it isn't. Because I'll just give the answer. No, I haven't.
No, you didn't. No, it's fine.
No, I haven't. Yeah, it's from Andy McLeish. It's a question for a mug, with Mr. E on it. Yeah. Right on eModels website, what is the kit that shows up with a giant Mr. E? That's that Mr. E, giant Mr. E. What's the kit that shows up with a giant Mr. E? Go.
Yeah. On the website, there's a picture of Mr. E stood there, and there's a kit behind him. What is that kit? I can't find the mail. I don't know whether they're archived.
No, I looked in the bin. It must have archived, and I don't know why I find the archived one.
Archived email. I slid the email, and it did the one above it. Dummies. Nonsense.
Spitfire trumpet.
Is there a... Oh, no, Siri won't find it.
A plastic one, nearly. Yeah.
It's a picture.
Yeah.
Mr. E is in the picture.
There we are. James Chapman, Suzuki RG250. There's the answer.
Yep. Well done, James.
Congratulations.
Email to ted@emodels.co.uk and say you won the mug. Now, with the mugs, we send those emails on to the guys at eModels, and they send out the mug to you. However, they are, like I said, they are out of stock at the minute, so it won't be straight away. But as soon as they come back into stock, they'll keep your email to one side, and they'll get them sent out to you. If you haven't had your mug by the time mugs come back in stock, let us know. We'll give them a nudge.
Yeah. Don't remember as well, if you do want a mug and you haven't won one or you didn't take part or what, you can order them when they're in stock. Not free of charge, but they're at cost.
Yep.
And free delivery. The guys will send them out to you, free delivery, and they sell them to you what they buy them in for, so they don't make anything on that.
Yeah, they don't make any profit on 10 mugs. And Andy McLeish did include. Well, actually, did he?
Yeah, I've got his address. He sent in the second.
Yes, yeah. Well, let's be clear. He actually sent a second email with his name and address, because every time he sends me an email for my streams with the question, he forgets.
He did say in chat that he'd forgotten. So
constantly forgets to include his name and address in the email. Every time it's 2 emails. Boom.
James Chapman says, "Woohoo! A second mug."
Yeah, you can have a set.
Yeah. Was your first mug the second generation or the first
One
generation?
for coffee, one for brushes.
Have you got one of each, or have you got 2 second generation ones? Or?
Come Christmas when you got the family round, everybody could have one.
Yeah.
Lord Barkley says he's holding out for a teapot.
Holding out for a teapot. Yeah.
If you want eModels to do branded teapots, send an email saying we want a branded teapot.
Yeah, because they instantly respond to things like that. Because when we said we want t-shirts, they instantly ignored us.
Yeah. By the way, if you want these t-shirts, you can't have them because we have to get these made. We've been asking Pete Mate for 3 years for some t-shirts. We've got some very nice jackets for winter time when it gets cold. Summertime, no, not so much.
TK's off to bed, so night, TK. Thanks for
TK, you have to remember it's an hour ahead over there, isn't it? So
yeah, it is 11:46.
Yeah. Well, but then it'll be will he be 2 hours ahead next week? Because the clocks go back next week.
Oh God, don't confuse me.
Andy McLeish says, "Would that make it an e-pot?"
E-pot. Sadster says a branded eModel cutting mat would be a great giveaway.
That would be a good idea. Yeah, I wonder if you can get that.
All you do is get a normal cutting mat and an eModel sticker. And
there were conversations I know a little while ago about like perhaps doing branded stuff, but we don't know what we don't actually. If you don't know, we don't actually work for eModels. We just do this in our own time voluntarily. So we're not necessarily au fait of all the ins and outs and goings on behind the curtain. But there was talk of branded stuff at one point, so you never know.
Never know. Right, yeah, we'll have to pin Pete down. If we see Pete this week, when we go to Telford, we'll pin him down.
Yeah, branded eModels, model-making earmuffs.
Yeah, your customers demand. Yeah.
We've had multiple requests for the eModels mankini.
Baseball cap with eModels in it written on the... No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You have to wear them backwards.
Pete may be like, will you wear a baseball cap? I'll be like, will you just never ask me that again? How about now?
With a big silver sticker on the peak.
Blitz Barrage says, hey again there, guys. Chat, been looking at one of the no-name brand spray booths on eBay and Amazon. I'm just wondering if they're any good. Keep up the good work. You can find exactly the same spray booth on emodels.co.uk. It's one of those ones that has... It's sold under a million different names, but it's always the same thing. So there are 2 options for spray booths on the eModels website. There's that one, which I think is about 70 or 80 quid, something like that. And it's a great spray booth if you're starting out.
I used it. In fact, I still got it. Unfortunately, it's in the loft at the moment, but it's great. Yeah.
I've got mine. You can't see it, but it's just here. I've had it for years. They are so fine. Yeah, they're always the same. There's just different names on them, but they're all kind of the same thing. There's like that. Is the sort of entry level, which we've all got and used. And yeah, a spray booth is something you really need if you're going to be doing any airbrushing, just because it's a convenient way of sucking all the paint out and the fumes. And everything.
Yeah, Blitz Barrage says, can you? I was oblivious. Sure, we'll surely take a look.
Yeah. There is another option.
I don't think he's out of stock at the moment. They did have quite a few in, didn't they? So
yeah, they do also do. I'll just get the name for you. They do also do a top of the range spray booth, which is one I will one day hopefully upgrade to, which is.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at myself, actually. Hopefully, when I get the workshop built in the loft, I'm going to upgrade.
They have the Spraycraft portable fold away, which is $94.49, which is this one that we all 3 of us use, and most people we know use. However, they also have, and I can't find the other one now. It comes up with. No, I don't want that. They have the. I'm trying not to open it in the same tab because I've got a thing open. Let's just do it. They have the Graphic Air Fume Master, which is 325 quid. However, that's a professional spray booth, and it is awesome. I've seen it reviewed. I really want to get one. It is an incredibly good spray booth, but it's a professional top of the range jobbing, and that'll just blow your socks off. Yeah. So if you don't want to go
your socks off, you've got it wired in the wrong way round. It should be sucking.
Good point. I like that point. Point well made.
That's the unfortunate part about this new workshop I'm going to have. The house is 140 years old.
Why don't I just do a screen share? So I'll just do a screen share. Do you want to lock it on me, Tedward?
Okay, I'll do it on you.
Mr. Loth is also shooting off. Bye, Vincent. Good night,
Vincent.
I don't know, all these Germans coming in and going early. I don't know. Right, I'll do a screen share. Is it locked on me?
Yeah, it's locked on you.
So they have two in. They have the Spraycraft portable fold-away spray booth. And like I said, this is pretty much the one that we've all got, more or less. They're all kind of much of a muchness. They're all very similar. Yes, if you've got an airbrush, if you're doing spraying, you need a spray booth, ideally. Because A, it stops making a mess of everything in the room, because you'd be surprised where airbrush spray actually goes. B, it takes out all the fumes as well. If you ever, you realize how important they are when, for example, when I'm spraying and I have a light above the spray booth, even though the spray booth is on and it's sucking the paint out, you still get paint clouding up above it, and you can see exactly where the paint goes, and it eventually comes back down again. So you see all the stuff that wouldn't be floating around in the room if you didn't have a spray booth. And the other thing, of course, is you can make your own, but you need to make sure it's all the wiring's hidden, because if you've got exposed wiring in a fan and you're spraying paints, you can have explosions. So yeah, it's more than worth getting a spray booth. So you've got the 9449 one, the Spraycraft portable. Pretty much everybody's got one of these. But yeah, the proper top of the range one. Look at that. That's a bit of nice stuff. That is.
That's the one I intend to put in the loft. So
yeah, that's one I want to upgrade to at some point.
That's if I can decide to punch a hole through this 140-year-old house.
If it's 140 years old, there's probably big cracks in it already, so you can just use one of them.
Yeah. Now the difference with this spray booth is it's a bit more powerful than the other one. So this one can be used with aerosols. I wouldn't use aerosols with this, because aerosols go everywhere and you'll still end up just filling your room full of aerosol spray, so you'll gas yourself.
Plus aerosols clock the filters up on that as well.
So that is your airbrush spray booth. This you can do with aerosols and soldering and everything else. This is a proper professional level spray booth. It has, let's have a look. I can't remember the blurb now.
Steel construction.
It can be vertical or horizontal. You can move that white cowling around the front is attached with Velcro.
Yeah, I think you can actually use it as a base as well, so you can stand
you can have it the other way around. It just sticks on with Velcro. But that's the professional one. It's got a much higher air suck. I don't know what's the air velocity, 0.6 meters per second. It does actually.
Felice is asking, is that tube coming out the top, or is it just to show it in the pic? Because it'll give you some much needed desk space if it comes out the top. I would expect it's going to come out the back.
What, on this one?
On either of them, really. They both sort of show it coming out the top, but you can't really tell.
Yeah, the tube on this one comes out of there, but you can have it sideways, so that could either be, depending on how you've got it lined up. Because if you see on the right-hand side, there's two black bits, those are feet. So you can have it on its side like this, or on the other way up. So that one, the tube depends on which way up you have it.
Either comes out the top or the side, but not the back.
No, it comes out of that bit there. That's where it comes out of.
That's quite cool. That would give more room to a lot of people, because you can have it up against the wall.
Yes. The one I've got, this thing, the one I've got of this actually has the tube coming out the back, which for me is a pain, because it means I've got to have the spray booth pushed forward further. On this one, it does seem to be coming out of the top, which does mean life's a little easier. But that's a kind of generic spray booth that we've all got a version of here or there. I'll say the major difference is, apart from the price, this one's an industrial level, more professional industrial spray. It's going to suck more. You can use rattle cans and stuff. But just for home use, if that's something you can upgrade to later on, you could start off with one of those. And trust me, it's worth it.
Nate Bliss says he's got the BV. It has less depth dimension-wise than you would think, so it is space efficient, and it does come out the top.
Which one's this one?
I think the other more expensive one. I think that's
this one. It's not actually that big. But yes, that white screen around the front, you just pop that off and it's Velcro, I think, if I remember rightly. And you can put it at the bottom, you can put it at the top, however you want to do it. It's really good. I need to upgrade to one of those one day. One day. But yes, I'll on-screen share. While on screen sharing, one other thing as well, don't forget to remind you all, and I've taken the screen off now, so I'll have to come back and find it again. Don't forget, of course, the Bandai Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon 1/72 scale kit is still available for pre-order. It's not due out till the end of November, but if you've been jonesing to get your hands on one of these, Revell are now the official distributors of Bandai Star Wars kits in Europe and the UK, which means in Europe and UK we can start to finally get Bandai Star Wars kits without having to get them from Japan at stupid prices for importing. So this is going to be the first one that out through Revell. It's basically the Bandai Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon, just happens to have Revell in the box, so don't panic. It's still the Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon. It's available for pre-order now, so if you've been looking to get one, get your pre-order going on. You can order it through the little pre-order button there. I've got one on pre-order because I'm going to be building it for eModels for one of their video builds. So do check it out if you've been looking to get one of those.
Jamie Bone has a question for you there, Fox.
Yes?
I'm not going to read it.
Oh, okay, I shall read it in a moment. But if
I'll read it.
Especially if you're in the UK, the advantage of getting it from eModels, you can get it next day delivery. You can't get that from Japan. So there you go. So if you're in the UK or the Europe, Revell are now your Star Wars, Bandai Star Wars distributors, and the first one out is the Falcon, which is now pre-order available. So get your pre-order in. I shall unlock my screen sharing. There you go. You can take it off me, Ted, if you would.
I have done so.
Good girl.
Yeah. George, but just before we move on from spray boots, George Gabriel's asking, how does he keep tiny dust particles from landing on his gloss coat while it's in the spray booth? First of all, run the spray booth for a while before you start spraying in it. And then, as Felice says, wet the booth. Get one of these mister sprays and spray around. Kills, damps all the dust down.
That's what I was doing yesterday. A spray bottle of whatever, doesn't matter, just with water in it. And all I do is I spray in the spray booth to damp everything down, and then I spray. Yeah, that's what we used when we used to paint real cars. That's what we used to do. If you go into a proper body shop, the whole thing there'll be damp stuff on the walls. They'll get damp whatever on the walls and all that kind of stuff to make the dust stick to it. So the dust sticks to it. Anything floating around is stuck to the walls of the floor, and then you spray. So yeah, just spray water. Well, if you haven't got a spray bottle, just spray water through your airbrush all around the spray booth. There's a piece that just fell off. Excuse me. Because when we didn't do the what's in store section, I mean the what have we been doing section, I was going to show you my Gundam, which I've just gloss coated the other day, which necessitated me spraying water in the spray booth. Ted's fallen asleep.
Yep. Just checking to see if any more emails have come in. Yep, so nothing else has. Right. What else do you have a winner to pick from last week?
We do.
Yes. Is that me again?
Yep.
I think you yeah, I've noticed that Chris is just sitting drinking tea and doesn't do anything.
I don't know how it worked out this week. It just all sort of came together.
We should allocate. Yeah, we should allocate these tasks out a bit more evenly, I think.
Well, I think next week's my turn for what's in store, so people will have to start thinking I'll make them more challenging next week.
Yes, just me doing all the talking tonight. Right, is it locked on me, Tedward?
It is again. It is locked on you again.
That's the wrong button. I just pressed the wrong button. Right, we'll go back to that then, shall we?
I think it's been locked on you all night, actually.
Yes. So last week we were giving away the. I've not actually opened the. Hang on, I've not. You know what? I've not even opened.
Well, that's fine. It gives people a chance to still go and comment briefly, quickly.
Yeah, quickly.
I need to go to YouTube, and I need to find YouTube eModels. I didn't open this bit, did I?
We were giving away the little golf last week.
Giving the golf GTI away, weren't they?
We'll get to that, don't worry.
Fox will show you in a minute, but he's busy looking for the eModels thing now, and then he's going to start playing the video.
Which was the 15th? Was that the 15th?
It was last week, yes.
Then we'll get an advert because it's set to advert. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up.
Are you still using Google?
Right, so
that's me.
Yes, last week we were giving away the Revell 124 35th years Volkswagen Golf GTI Pirelli. It's the Mark 1 Golf.
Yeah.
Classic design. It was the first real hot hatch And if you remember at the time, I remarked it was a very nicely painted model they had, not like Polar Lights where they just get some chump to paint their display model. It's really nicely painted. Good body paint on that there. Not so great on the interior, but we'll walk away from that. We won't show that.
By coincidence, the very next day, I went to work and one of these turned up at my place of work. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And I'm going to guess it came out in 1983, judging by the license plate.
Oh, yeah. Wob.
Nothing gets past me, you see. So we're giving away this. And what we asked you for was in the comments, put a comment saying what your first car was. And we had many answers. Spiddy Q8's first car was a Rolls Canardly. That's an old joke. Isn't one of these questions you use for your password reset? My second car was a Ford Mustang. See, all the Americans, older Americans had great cars because they were all cars in the 70s. Phil East had a Bandit Trans Am.
Yeah.
I nearly bought a Trans Am.
Yeah, James Chapman's just commented, so you might need to refresh it. I
shall refresh it. We've got the advert. Oh no, we don't.
No, there's the chat from last week that I'd looked into.
The one that Ted was reading earlier.
Phil Kett had a 75 Mark 1 Escort Estate in bright yellow, known as the Yellow Predel. Scale model vamp had a 1982 Datsun Pulsar NX 1600 with an E-Series engine that was assembled in New Zealand. Oh, new.
James Chapman should be disqualified because he put that his granddad's first car was something.
High altitude scale modeling's first car was a 63 Ford Falcon. He's obviously Australian. I guess that's an Australian car, isn't it?
Is it?
No, it was American. It was Australian. Ford Falcon? It was Australian, I think.
No idea.
Oh, John Cott had a 1971 3-litre Ford Capri GTX LR. Dad, he said it was an automatic dad hand-me-down.
Oh, I never had dad hand-me-downs.
My first car was an Austin Allegro.
My first ever car, my actual first ever car that I owned before I could even drive, before I was old enough to drive, was a yellow Mark II Escort, which bizarrely my brother owned, sold to the guy across the road, and then many years later somehow I bought it back. And then I sold it before I'd even driven it because I was actually about a year too young to drive. Yeah,
probably because it was canary yellow and nobody wanted to drive.
It was actually in good nick, but I don't know why Dad bought it for me, and it was like I can't drive for another year. And then somebody came along and offered us money, so we sold it. And then the next thing, police turned up saying it'd been using a ram raid, and we're like,
you want it back? It's 3 foot shorter than it was before.
Yeah,
that's Manchester for you, isn't it?
Oh, Redland 08 says his first car was a sky blue Mark III Cortina Estate, which you could start with any random key. I have a soft spot for Mark III Cortinas.
Yeah,
not so much the Estates, but
yeah, my first car was a Cortina.
Oh yeah, what was Mark there?
Mark III.
Oh, Ted, I love you.
It was blue. I think we said it last week. It was blue with stick-on heated rear windows and slide-on headrests.
And James Chapman gets everybody's sympathy vote because his dad's car was an Austin Princess. That's just Terry and June territory now, then.
Yeah, the land sharks.
Oh yeah. Anyway, right, let's get this done. So we're going to copy the URL. And we're going to put it into the YouTube random comment picker that picks YouTube comments randomly from YouTube. Going to load the comments. We have 34 unique comments. And are we ready to pick a winner for this? Who's going to win that golf? Ready? Give me a countdown, somebody.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Random.
Poop Cat. That's a great name. Poop Cat. He says Mark 1 Capri was his first car. Or her first car, although I spent more time with my head under the bonnet fixing it than I did actually driving it.
Yeah, that was British Ford. Yeah, British Leyland Ford. Yeah, mind you, cars of that era just felt a bit naturally, didn't they, before they came out of the factory?
So, Poop Cat, you are the winner. You have won yourself this natty little VW golf kit. So, all you need to do is drop Ted an email, ted@emodels.co.uk. And please put down that you've won the Revell Golf GTI hashtag 05694. So it's that bit there. 05. That's an important bit because that tells the guys which kit you've won.
Yeah. Cat is actually in chat at the moment and says waving saying I actually won something.
Hey, well done.
He's in chat. He or she in chat.
I just noticed up there, Mike Mountain. I don't know whether it's his first car or not. He commented a Cavalier SRI.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the one I did my police driving test in.
That's a copper car, that, isn't it?
Yeah, we did some
screen share.
illegal speeds up and down the motorway. And that.
You want to take it off me, Ted?
Yeah. Oh yes, it is.
Is Poop Cat in chat?
Yep.
Well done.
Yay! I'd noticed Poop Cat being in chat. Well done.
I had noticed them until they only popped up when they'd actually won something.
I think we would have given you a prize anyway for the name, but there you go. So well done. Yeah, send Ted an email, ted@emodels.co.uk. Tell him you won the golf and give him the product code, hashtag 05694. They did put one aside for you.
Yeah, well done. So,
yeah, brilliant. We're in chat. Philip Rose says, best car story this week. To avoid paying tariff on small vans imported to the USA, Ford import its Connect compact van fitted with rear seats and windows, which are removed after importation.
Does that not leave them a bit drafty, though?
James Chapman says his first car was a 73 1300 VW Beetle, but still under restoration. Yeah, I actually quite fancy an old Beetle, but I don't know why.
We had my wife's first car was a Mini, which I bought her, and that sort of stopped. Well, it didn't stop working, but it was taken off the road, put in the garage, intending to restore it. So we took it to bits, and it never went back together. Eventually, a man came to take it away on a trailer. So.
I have to say, I drove an old Mini once, and I will never drive an old Mini again because it was like the steering wheel was this big, and I went to hit a brake, and I hit all three pedals at once because all three pedals were like that and smaller than my foot, and I was like, I can't drive this.
But driving an old car was always fun because it was always that challenge: is it actually going to start? And you had to go out 5 minutes before you wanted to go anywhere because it took you a while to get the choke ready and to get it started. But now you're just going to turn the key and they just start. It's boring.
That's why I miss that's why I really loved and totally missed my Series 3 Land Rover, because it was just the most mechanical of mechanical cars. It had the proper plastic steering wheel that had no squish. It's great. Everything was like clunk.
Oh, well, the Mini was like that because it had a huge bus type steering wheel, and we changed ours for a smaller wooden one. Obviously, in a head-on crash would have impaled your chest. But
oh, you're talking about the original, like first second marks, weren't you? Because like after that in the 80s they had the little wheels, and they were like, it was an 80s Mini that I had to drive. It was horrible. Didn't like
Poop
it.
says thanks. I'm going to call you Poop. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah.
Poop Cat's just to, Poop says thanks very much. That made my night. So
yeah, there you go.
Well done. Thank you for taking part.
Yeah. Remember, when you build it though, let us see it. Send the pictures into the eModels gallery. It's not next week.
Not next week, the gallery. The week after, the gallery.
After,
we'll put them in any time during the month. Yeah.
We'll be picking a winner from the eModels gallery. So get your pictures submitted. Just go to the website, click on gallery, and all the instructions are there how to submit yourself a picture.
Chris Belchin says, correction on the VW Golf number. Call it 01206, which is actually the Bandai PG Falcon. They won't notice.
It's not going to work. James Chapman says he bought the VW for 450 due to a gentle tap after looking at £1,000 spent, replaced the whole front end, redoing chassis and loads of other stuff. The one thing that all VWs tend to have is rotten floors.
Yeah.
So if you're ever looking at an old vintage VW, make sure the floor isn't all rotten, because that's what apparently tends to get.
Yeah.
I would love an old. I don't know why. I'd love an old VW. I would love, and I don't know why, I'd love an old 2CV. If I won the lottery, I could buy all these old cars that I could get restored. I'd love a Mark III Cortina, but I'd have it refitted with modern engines and bits and bobs. So it's like a modern car in a Cortina body. I'd love an old VW Beetle, again fully restored. But I'd love an old 2CV, and I don't know why. Oh, Citroen 2CV. I don't know why, but I loved not the original first 1950s ones, but like the 70s. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. There's one that drives around here, and you can hear it a long time before you can see it.
Oh yeah. I don't know why. I just quite like one.
Anyway,
McLeish says to Chris Bolchin about swapping it for the Bandai Falcon. Foxx tried that already.
Anyway, I think it's about time we wrap this up for this evening. It's getting near bedtime.
Yeah, we've done everything, haven't we?
Approval there, Ted.
Time to go and drink some gin, I think.
Oh yes.
Put me to sleep for the night. And until next week, I guess. unless there's anything else, I can't think. I'll just have a quick look back in the emails. Nothing else is coming.
Now, we're not doing the gallery giveaway next week. It's the week after.
Oh, it's the week after.
But in the meantime, don't forget, we will be doing a gallery giveaway. So if you haven't uploaded pictures of your builds yet to the gallery, it's emodels.co.uk/gallery. Upload a picture of some of your builds, just one per build. Get reviewing other people's builds. And
yeah, don't forget, if you're not submitting a picture, go along and review somebody else's model.
Yep, because we look at all the 5-star rated pictures, and you might win, and you'll win something cool.
There is one other thing to mention, in that the clocks change before the next show.
Do they? I have no concept of when
the clocks change Sunday morning at 2 a.m. It suddenly becomes 1 a.m. again. So
this is where I have to stop doing BST and put GMT, right?
Yeah, you have to change. We'll tell you. Don't worry.
Okay. Thanks, Bob.
But basically, if you don't change your clocks, then we'll be an hour late, according to you. You'll be an hour early for everything. But if you're in a different country that don't change your clocks, beware that the time of this show will be different to how it is now.
Yeah.
Because we change our clocks. So.
Yeah, just wait for YouTube to send you a thing saying, "Oh, they're on now."
Just remember, it's still Monday, the day the bins don't go out.
Yeah, it's still Monday, and it's a different time to what it would have been. So, unless your clocks change as well, in which case it will be the same. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, unless you're in America, because I've got like 300 different time zones, so that could get even more confusing.
Yeah, but they might change theirs at the same time we change ours. So it might
just get rid of summertime. It's different.
My head
Model Vamp says, so I have to wait 2 hours now. Damn it.
Yeah. Trust me, I get confused because I don't know. I was putting GMT for years until Chris was like, it's BST during the summer. I'm like, I don't know.
Now my head hurts. So it's time to go, and we'll see everybody next week. But thanks to Chris, thanks to Foxx, thanks for everybody that's joined us tonight. We've had a great time. The chat's gone quite easily tonight, so thank you very much. So we'll see you all next time, and I'm going to go back to sleep and sleep till next week probably. So we'll see you all next week. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Oh, it's my turn to press the button.
Press the button, or our fingers will get very tired if you don't.